Hello, hello, hello. Kerry here from Homestead How and the Carnivore Diet movie, carnivoredietmovie.com. I I'm reporting live from the basement of the world famous Montello Theater. My family purchased the theater a year ago and we're playing Mission Impossible. Hopefully you're not hearing it now. I can actually hear it through my headphones. It's a pretty loud movie, a pretty fun movie. And so the purpose of today's live stream was to provide some huge news and a huge update on the Carnivore Diet documentary. And I'm gonna get to that in just a minute. And then I figured we would do some Q&A. If anyone has any carnivore questions, please leave them in the comments on the side and put a big Q next to them so that I don't miss them. And I think I'll just a quick update on myself, and then I'll jump into the carnivore diet news just to give some people some time to jump on here. I had a great day today. I actually was on Dr. Baker's podcast this morning, his YouTube channel on video. So I believe they're still going to have to edit that and put it out, but I talked to Dr. Baker this morning, and that was amazing. Dr. Baker, if you don't know, he is the original carnivore. In fact, he literally wrote the book on carnivore diet, and I believe he's the one that came up with the name carnivore. And a lot of people saw his story, including myself, on Joe Rogan's podcast several years back, and probably thought the guy was crazy. I know when I watched it, I thought he was crazy. I wish I would have listened to him back then. But I did that today. I am on day 115 carnivore diet, and the last 27 days I've been strictly doing lion diet. And my daughter Emma is on, she's day 65 carnivore. Lily's been, I lost track of where Lily is. She stopped for a while after 30 days, went back on it, fell off again, went back on it, and I'm pretty sure she's back on it now, but I'm losing track. But the big news is my wife Jen, who was a vegetarian for many, many years. I mentioned on the previous live cast, she started eating meat about 2 or 3 weeks ago. She had a little bit of turkey, a little bit of chicken. And 4 days ago, she said to me, I'm going to be the captain of my own ship. And I was like, whatever. I was like, I thought she was saying she's going to do keto. She's had success with keto on and off over the years, but I lost a bunch of weight on keto. I gained it all back. And I thought she was going to do keto and have mostly salads and green vegetables and a little bit of protein. But she said, no, I'm going to do carnivore diet. That was 4 days ago. She ate her first steak. I'm not even exaggerating. I think that was the first steak she's ever eaten. She's has this aversion to meat. Before becoming a vegetarian, she never had steak. She had ground beef, she had beef and burgers, but not a nice, delicious steak. So that was her first meal on Lion. We went out to eat and she got a steak. And then the next day, I reversed seared and slow smoked steak for her. And I think she had burgers and she just was having some eggs when I left to come here to the theater. She's doing great. Last night, I noticed for the first time, this was 4 days in, her snoring. She was snoring before. She said, I can share all of this with you. So we want to share and help other people. If you have a loved one that snores, I really think that's due to inflammation. I know it was the case for me. I stopped snoring on day 1 of carnivore diet. Dr. Jordan Peterson stopped snoring the first week on carnivore diet. A lot of people have reported that. And when you look into the why of it, it's because of inflammation. Sorry, just making sure the movie's still going. It got really quiet up there for a while. That's my biggest fear. I'm going to be sitting down here live streaming and then the projector turns off and everyone's sitting in the dark. So Jen is doing great. I have 12 more pounds to lose and I'll be down 100 pounds from my heaviest. I said that in my earlier video and people are like, do you need to lose that? Or are you just going for an arbitrary number? I actually do have a lot of, not a lot, but I have belly fat left to lose. So I do have some fat left to lose. Don't know if it's going to equal 12 pounds or not, but that's the goal I've been aiming for. Anyhow, that's a quick update on me. Let's jump into the Carnivore Diet Doc. Huge news, which was the title of this video. I wanted to just wait a couple minutes. If you do have any questions, carnivore questions for me, I'll take those as well. Please leave them. Put a big Q or write the word question in caps because it's really hard to see these in all the comments we end up getting. So here's some of the news on the Carnivore Diet documentary. It is going awesome. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. The whole goal of this, for people that are new here, I've been doing carnivore for 115 days. I learned about carnivore on YouTube. I initially learned about the ketogenic diet from watching a documentary like 15 or 20 years ago. I think we can reach so many more people, people like me that were hopeless. They were at the end of their road, not just from obesity, but from depression and anxiety and many other health issues. I wish I knew about carnivore diet 20 years ago. And I know there's other people out there right now at this very moment that are hopeless and they don't know the truth. I want to share the truth about the carnivore diet. So I'm putting together a carnivore diet documentary. My goal is to get it on Netflix or one of these big streaming services. And my goal is to share the truth and share real examples because that's what got me into carnivore. I saw Dante from Frigno Freedom. I saw his example and what he did. And I saw a lot of other examples on YouTube. And it's inspiring. It's very inspiring. I don't think it's my position to say you should start carnivore diet. I do think though I can put my example out there, show my results, and then you can take that example and do what you want with it. But I think that's one of the most powerful things. So the purpose of the carnivore diet documentary, you can learn more at scrolling on the bottom of the screen there, carnivoredietmovie.com, is to follow real people for the course of 1 year doing the carnivore diet, not just for obesity, but people that are also doing it for depression and anxiety, people that are doing it for, actually, you might be able to see some of it there. That's my board. This is the carnivore diet documentary board. So mental health, type 2 diabetes, reproductive issues, and aging is another big one I want to cover in the documentary. And I want to cover it with real examples. So people are going to the website, carnivoredietmovie.com. They're registering. They're saying, I want to do the carnivore diet. I want to participate. I want to share my story and document it. I'm encouraging people, if you want to do that, go to the website, fill out the form. Also, really strongly consider putting together a YouTube channel. And you can keep it private if you don't want anyone to see it, but it's a great way to be accountable and to show your progress. And then we're still in the early stages of this documentary. I met with a documentary filmmaker. He gave me some great advice. His best advice was, this is like, treat it like a business. You have to have a rock solid business plan before you start filming or shooting. So I've been outlining things. I wrote the first hook, the first 4 minutes of the documentary I've already written. More on that in a second, because it's one of the exciting big pieces of news. But it's going to be a long process transitioning from the hook into all of these individual stories, watching all of these videos from the individuals. So we're making really good progress, but putting together a movie like this is going to take a while. So we're still in the early stages, but do a YouTube channel if you're thinking about it. Not even for me, just do it for yourself. Even if you keep it private, it's great to be able to have that accountability. Even if you just upload once a week, and then you can go back and see your progress, and then you can share it with us if you want to be involved, and we can look at it and see, this is where they started, this is where they're at now, this is the progress, this is how they are on camera. This would be a good candidate for the documentary to share their example. One of the biggest things that's happened, the huge news on the carnivore diet doc is this. Oh, there's a couple. Number one, we've raised over $5,000. Thank you so much. I get emotional just thinking about it, but thank you so much to everybody that's donated. You can donate at carnivoredietmovie.com. We still have a very long way to go, but so many people have been so generous donating. And it's not just donations. So we have GoFundMe. There's a link on Carnivore Diet Movie. We're also selling Compassionate Carnivore t-shirts. I had mine on earlier, but now I've got the Montella Theater shirt on. Those t-shirts are always below the YouTube videos. If you purchase one of those, every penny that we would get goes towards the doc. If you join my YouTube channel, there's a membership. You get insider updates and things like that. If you comment, your comments go right to the top, and I answer those ones quicker. You can do it. It's like $2 or $3 a month, depending on what level you pick. Every penny from that goes to the movie as well. So, and the super chats. People have been so generous with the super chats. All of that money goes to the movie as well. And so with all of that together, we're well over $5,000 now. Yesterday or 2 days ago, I announced one of the biggest hurdles that we're going to have for this documentary is I want to get it on Netflix or one of these big streaming services. The problem with Netflix is I have a ton of video experience. I've been doing YouTube for 8 years. People are like, whatever, YouTube. But besides YouTube, my wife and I own a business doing video for other businesses. I've done 600 videos for Amazon businesses. I've done tons of local business ads. I have a lot of really good camera equipment that I've been able to fortunately build up over the years. I've got a great camera. My camera setup that I use for YouTube is several $1,000s with the lenses and everything else. So it's a really high-end camera. It's not good enough for Netflix. Netflix requires a cinema grade camera. They actually have a list. Anyone can Google this right now. If you Google Netflix approved cameras, you can see the list of cameras that they'll accept. And so there's no guarantee we're going to get on Netflix either, by the way, but there is a guarantee that we won't get it on Netflix if I don't use a Netflix approved cinema quality camera. So I reached out yesterday on the YouTube community. I said, I'm hoping we can raise some more money so that we can afford this camera. There were two cameras I had in mind. One was a little bit more expensive. And yesterday I bit the bullet and I purchased a camera. This is the exciting news. I'm picking it up tomorrow. We will have the camera, a cinema grade Netflix approved camera. Not only the camera, the cool thing with the camera is it happens to be a Sony cinema camera, and all of my equipment that I have is already Sony. If you guys don't know about photography or video work, one of the most expensive parts is getting lenses. I already have several lenses that will work with this camera. So I'm so excited. The camera, I was supposed to get it today, but it was delayed a day. So we're going to have the camera. I'm actually going to be able to start filming with the camera right away. Now, the other option with this documentary, like in a perfect world, would be, well, you just hire a crew and they'll bring their own camera. You could also rent cameras. That's an option too, but that gets very expensive. Hiring a crew, this camera was $4,000. Plus, I had to get a different lens for it. I have most of the lenses, but I needed a different lens for it. And then there's all these accessories that Netflix requires. Like you have to do this thing called time coding, where you're putting time code and you're synchronizing your audio with your video on the multiple cameras. That's a couple $100. All of the stuff added up to, I think it was about $5,500. And so I took a whole bunch of money out of my own pocket to pay for this, and I used money from what people have donated. But I wanted to keep some money in the donation pool because I'm still going to need more to travel, to go interview these folks and to start filming things. But people have been so generous. I'm really thankful. I just want people to know, I've said it before, I'm just going to say it one more time now. I'm not making a penny off of this. I'm putting a ton of my own time into it, and I'm happy to do it. This is my passion. It's my mission in life, is I want to help people. Nothing is more inspiring than hearing these comments from people on YouTube. So I invested a lot of my own money yesterday into all of this camera equipment, but a big portion of it, and it wouldn't have been possible without all of your generous donations. So thank you so much. If anybody is interested in donating still, I promise you every penny is going to go to help other people that are hopeless, depression, anxiety, obesity, type 2 diabetes. They're driving around on a little mobility scooter at Walmart, and they're at the end of their road and they're hopeless. We're going to reach those people with this documentary. I'm so excited with what we have. So this camera is coming and I can actually start filming. And on that note, I already have started filming, but I'm not going to be able to use any of it. So one of the biggest things I want to do with this documentary, the thing that I think is so critical and important, is number one, we can't just be like, this is the Carnivore Diet movie and just jump into the first minute of it talking about carnivore diet and eating meat because we're going to scare people away. We have to be able to relate to people and we have to really hook them in. So the last couple of weeks, I've been working on the hook. I've written it. Chad, the documentary filmmaker, he did documentaries for the BBC. He sat right here next to me and he gave me some of the best advice about the hook and the approach for it. And I rewrote everything. And then I was like, I have a lot of footage. I can film it. I can put placeholders in. I actually use this AI tool and I created a bunch of animations for some of the flashback parts and some of the things that I couldn't film yet. And long story short, I have the first 4 minutes of the documentary on video. I'm looking at it on my screen right now. I'm not going to share it with you all yet. I got to do a couple more versions of it. It's just very rough, but it was a great way for me to visualize, like, here's kind of what I want to do with this part of it. Now, when I get the Netflix approved camera, this is what I'm going to film. And now I'm learning things that I'm going to change. But I had Emma watch it. If you watch my video today, you'll see that Emma watched that video. She was actually tearing up a little bit. So, of course, she's my kid and she's just going to be nice no matter what. But I think she genuinely enjoyed it. Lily watched it as well. I haven't had Jen watch it yet because it's there's a little bit of a personal story just in the beginning part of the hook. And then we're going to jump into all of the other people's stories. But part of the hook includes an actual 911 call when Lily had blood clots and she nearly died in her house right at the start of COVID. She passed out. Her face was white. Her lips were purple. She was minutes away from dying. And it turned out she had 2 blood clots. She had to take a helicopter ride to Madison. My wife had to call 911, and I got that 911 recording, and that's going to be part of the intro. And how this weaves into carnivore is the reason that Lily had those blood clots, I believe now in retrospect, was due to nutrition and what she was eating and what she wasn't eating. And so that's a little bit of a teaser on the hook, but I think it's really going to hook people in, and then it's going to transition into these other people's stories. So that's the huge news is, number one, I have the hook already filmed and I was able to watch it and it's in a really good space. Number two, I've already mentioned this, but I have a whole outline for the film and I have several of the sections written out. The tricky part is I don't know who's going to be in each section. So like we're going to have a section on say mental health. Who's going to be the mental health person? Well, all these people are registering at the Carnivore Diet movie, and I'm going through all of those and I'm trying to find someone who's a good candidate to show as an example of doing carnivore diet for 1 year and how it affected their mental health. And it's going to be more than one person too. It's going to be several people, maybe some people it doesn't work out or they quit or they don't want to do it for whatever reason. So those are some of the big updates. I have a big Word doc. There's been a lot of people that have been so helpful too. Adam, if Adam's on here right now, he's been volunteering his time helping me out. So we have I wish I had it today. It was so close to being here today. I'm going to have the camera, the Netflix approved cinema camera in my hand. I'm going to be able to start shooting it. I'm not going to just go out gung ho and start shooting though, because I still have to outline things and get things down, but there's some parts I can shoot already and get familiar with the camera. It's the same camera I shoot on now. It's just a more advanced version. So that was the other thing. It really worked out well, being that I already have the Sony equipment and batteries and lenses and memory cards. That would have been thousands and thousands of dollars more, but I'm able to use those with the cinema grade camera. The other update is this. We have over 150 people that registered on carnivoredietmovie.com. I think it's probably more close to like 175 at this point. And all of those things, I've been going through them. And like I said, people were sending videos in through there before. We're going to watch every one of those and account for any one of those. But if you're really interested in participating, I highly suggest doing the YouTube channel of your own. You can go back and fill the form out again, and you can put your YouTube URL in there. So I have it. I will subscribe. I will gladly comment and watch your videos. And if it seems like you're a good fit and you stick with it and you do it, then perhaps we can have you in the Carnivore Diet movie. Some of the participants we have, this is the other huge news. I was on Dr. Baker's YouTube channel this morning. I should be careful. He recorded this morning. It's not live yet. And I told him about the Carnivore Diet movie. And I said, I don't want to put you on the spot, just like I did with Dr. Anthony Chafee and a couple of these other guys. But I'm excited about this. And I would love to have you, Dr. Baker, involved in some way. He said, easy question. Totally. I would love to help. Anything I can do to help people with their health through the carnivore diet, I'm willing to help. He's like, send me the information. We'll definitely. And I said to him, I don't know if you want to help, like be on camera in the documentary or just reviewing things with me and stuff like that. And he's like, on camera, whatever. So that's awesome. Here's the new list right now. I wanted to share this real quick. So we have some individuals. We have 150 people that are on the website that have subscribed, and then we have some doctors. So Sean from Intentional Carnivore, my good friend, lost 243 pounds in 1 year. Amazing story. I want to have him in the documentary sharing his story. He's agreed. Amanda from Carnivorous Me, she was enthusiastically agreed when I told her about the Carnivore Diet documentary. Dante from Frigno Freedom, I asked him when we did a video together. He said absolutely, and he has such good documentation of his whole journey over the course of a year. It's kind of nice to have a few of these people that have already done it and they have the documentation over a year, but we're still looking for people that want to do it for a year, of course. Carnivore Ron, I had him on the channel. He's interested in participating. There's a new guy. His name is Alex. I don't know if he's on here. I'm not reading the comments at the moment, but Alex from Liverpool, I did a video with him yesterday, a couple days ago. This guy, I'm sorry, I have to show this. Alex, if you're on here, I got to get back into the comments here and check. Alex is my new best friend. He's my brother from another mother. We had the best conversation the other day. So inspiring. He's been a carnivore and he used to watch my YouTube channel just when I did homesteading videos. He's 65 years old in August. Next month, he'll be 65 years old. And it's just unbelievable to me. He looks so young and he's so full of life and he's so energetic. Hopefully this will show up on camera. I was just working on this thumbnail. This video is going to go live probably tomorrow or the next day. This is Alex. So hopefully you guys can see this. Let's see if I can get it in there a little bit better. You see that picture? Look at that picture on the right. 65 years old. He doesn't look, he looks like he's 40. He looks my age. He's 65 years old and he's just thriving on the carnivore diet. And he was so inspirational. I interviewed him on my channel. That video will be live tomorrow or the next day, but I asked him as well. I said, "Hey, we got Carnivore Ron, who's thriving on carnivore, and Alex is 65, and I want to do this whole section on aging because everybody can relate to obesity. Everybody can relate to aging. Who's not scared of aging and slowing down and having mobility issues and things like that? And then you look at Carnivore Ron, or you look at this guy Alex, and you're like, wow, it doesn't necessarily have to be that bad. Sure, you're going to slow down when you get older. Everyone's going to, but to what extent? And there's so many people leaving comments on my channel that are proving that wrong, that getting old doesn't have to be that bad and slowing down. A huge part of that is poor nutrition and inflammation. So I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant now. We're going to, hopefully we'll have Alex involved as well. And then we have Dr. Anthony Chafee. I'm doing another video with him on Sunday, challenging the carnivore diet, where it's really fun. We did one before and everyone was really getting a kick out of it, where I throw all of the hardest questions at Dr. Chafee. And we're doing a part 2 Sunday morning, 9:30 Central, if anyone wants to watch that. But Dr. Chafee wants to be involved in the Carnivore Diet documentary. Dr. Baker's involved. So we got those 2 doctors. And then the other big news is this. Dr. Barry, he reached out to me. I reached out to him. He commented on my 30-day video. I messaged him. I said, love to do a video with you, Dr. Barry. He was a pivotal part of me starting Carnivore Diet after seeing Dante's video. I went down the research rabbit hole. And he said, well, yeah, let's do a live stream. And then we tried to schedule it. And then the low carb cruise, and I didn't hear from him. Anyways, today I heard back from his team and they're going to get back to me. We're going to schedule something. And I'm definitely going to ask Dr. Barry if he would like to be involved in the Carnivore Diet documentary. I'm going to put him right on the spot. The last thing that's big news on the Carnivore Diet documentary. Well, I guess there's 2 things. I also purchased a 16 terabyte network drive, hard drive to store everything on. So now on my phone, on the computer here at the movie theater, I'm editing stuff for the Carnivore Diet doc. When I'm on the road, it all goes into a network server. And that was another thing I purchased with my own money, none of the donations. Like I said, I'm putting a lot of my own time and money. I'm happy to do it into this Carnivore Diet documentary. I'm fully invested. This is my mission in life. We're going to change so many people's lives with this documentary. And I'm really excited to share it all with you. The last piece of huge news is Mr. Charles Maddox. He produced, directed, and starred in the Reverse series. A lot of you have seen the Reverse series. He called me the other day. He was on my friend Intentional Carnivore Sean's podcast, and Sean is awesome. Sean's going to be in the documentary too. Sean mentioned, and they were talking about the Carnivore Diet doc. Charles called me and he said, yeah, I'd love to team up in some way on this documentary, which is just huge, huge news. I mean, this man filmed, directed, produced this entire documentary on carnivore. It's a series. It's a lot different. Of course, it's a lot different than what we want to do, but he's already done it and he's learned a lot of things from doing that. So I'm going to be talking with him some more. So tons of exciting news on the Carnivore Diet documentary. I'm so excited to get the camera and start filming things. So if anyone has any questions on the Carnivore Diet doc, please post those in the side. If anyone has any questions in general about, I'm here for you. We got a movie playing upstairs. I always love talking to other carnivores. So any carnivore questions you have about myself, my vegan daughter, Emma, who is vegan for 5 years and became carnivore. My wife's been on carnivore for 4 days now. I will do the best. Of course, I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving any advice out here. But if you have any questions for me, whether it's carnivore or if we want to talk about the movie theater, I always love talking about this old historic building we're in right now at the theater. I would love to talk more with you about that. So I'm going to hit some of these comments now and see what we have here. And please, big uppercase Q, or just write the word question. That would be cool. Wakaza, aloha again. Yeah, I've been busy on YouTube today. Thank you, my friend from Hawaii. You left me some good comments on my earlier video. Emma and I were painting the movie theater. Every Thursday at 4 p.m., we do a family vlog video. I've done it for years now. It's usually a lot of fun. We're joking around. We eat some steaks. There's a little bit of carnivore, kayaking, working at the movie theater, having a huge rush upstairs. We do a lot of that stuff Thursdays at 4. Every Tuesday, I do carnivore content. And then I sprinkle some in every now and then with these live streams. So thank you. Aloha from Hawaii. I appreciate all your comments. Let's see what we got here. We got some questions. Oh, here's a good one. Is there any place better than Costco to buy whole tenderloins and other bulk cuts of beef? I would, if you would have asked me where should I buy it, I would say Costco. So I don't know I don't know another answer besides Costco. I get a lot of my beef, as some of you know, from my neighbor. It's grass fed, it's local. I'm so blessed and fortunate to be able to do that. But I do get a lot from Costco too. And before I went with my neighbor, I'd get stuff from Costco. The thing I like with Costco is it's fresh. The stuff I get from my neighbor is frozen, which is fine, but I'm getting kind of picky sometimes. So if I'm near a Costco, I'll pick some from. Does anyone else for Crypto Roger have any other suggestions besides Costco for whole tenderloins and bulk cuts of beef? Leave a comment down below and help us out. Appreciate it. All right. Wow, there's some good comments in here. Thank you guys. I really appreciate this carnivore community. You guys are awesome. PR Mike, got to put you up there. Hey, Mike, how's it going? You were over there in my earlier video. Hey, Kerry, just jumped over here from Sean's live. Oh, I didn't even know Sean was live. Oh, I hope I told Sean, I was like, we got to coordinate things better. Yeah, I just jumped on here. I know he does the Friday every week, and I was starting to do this. And I was like, oh, I shouldn't do it today. It's Friday. I was thinking today was Friday for some reason because we got this new Mission Impossible movie. I was telling Sean we should coordinate. So he'll do one for an hour and then, or I'll do one for an hour and then I'll say, go head on over to Sean's after or vice versa. Carnivore Ron, excellent. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Jennifer said, Dr. Baker, that's awesome. He did name Carnivore. Yeah, he is the original carnivore. Was talking about it before anyone else came up with the name and actually wrote a book on the carnivore diet. Johnny Midas, day 28, Kerry. Just finished my ribeye. Awesome. I love hearing people's stories and success on carnivore. I get so many comments. I'm so blessed and thankful for this. Literally every day, it's hundreds of comments, and they're overwhelmingly positive with people saying they're like, you were telling the truth. This does work. This is great. I watched your 30-day video, and now my arthritis is gone. Depression is gone. I feel so much better. The brain fog's clearing. I love getting those comments, and I really love getting the comments from folks that are older, 60s, 70s, 80 years old that are thriving on carnivore. That just warms my heart every time. Charger Mopar, the original carnivore. Sir, how are you? You enjoyed my wife's video expressing the good news about starting carnivore. Yeah, 4 days. I'm so happy. It's so nice. So nice cooking up a meal. It's almost the whole family now. It's going to be very close and we'll have the whole family doing carnivore. My ultimate dream, my ultimate goal is my grandchildren, which will hopefully be a long time from now. Imagine if all my grandchildren were carnivore, or at the very, very, very least, not consuming or addicted to sugar and carbs. And imagine if the next generation of children were all carnivore. What a world we'd live in. Jennifer said, it is. Snoring is from inflammation. Yeah, you know, I never knew that. I had such a fat neck before. I was really overweight. And when I was doing my sleep studies and started my CPAP machine, the doctor said, you got to lose some weight, buddy. Your neck is really fat, and that's why you're snoring. And so in my head, I was always like, it's the weight. I think the weight, of course, plays into it. When you have a lot of fat, that'll play into it as well. But I think it's more so the inflammation. Just in a couple days, her snoring is cut in half. And like I said, my snoring stopped on day one. If you know any loved ones that snore, it's like, you deserve to just try this. Do a test. It's an easy test because if your spouse snores, you probably know about it every night. You probably get as my friend Alex said, you probably got we wake up with bruises on your ribs because they're punching you in the middle of the night, telling you to shut up and roll over and stop snoring. All right, I'm going to get to some of these questions now. I know I end up talking too much. Shane Jones, State gave me insane energy after a workout. Love it. Isn't that something? It's like a adrenaline rush. It's like caffeine or something. Every time I eat a big fatty steak, I start feeling it. Fasting will get rid of that and any extra skin. Awesome. Yeah, that's something I've been doing now. I've been doing Lion Diet for 27 days. I only eat one meal a day. And that's kind of the secondary thought is I got some extra skin on the belly. I got some under the arms here. It's tightening up a little bit, but I know you get autophagy from fasting and I just feel better. It's like, if I can eat one day and I'm full, let's just do it. So that's what I've been doing. Jan Smith, oh, how much you have lost so much, Kerry. Great job and great family health leader. Oh, thank you so much. You know, the family leader strikes a chord with me, Jan, because that's something I failed at miserably for many years. I just believe like I heard someone say this one time. Someone was getting a divorce, and I heard this guy say, he was like, if you're getting a divorce, it's kind of your fault because you should be managing things and you should be like the CEO of your family where you're managing things and everything's sort of under control. And I've for many years I wasn't like that, and it's definitely changed on Carnivore where I'm I feel like I'm being a better husband and father, and I'm much more involved and so thankful for it because this time is going by so quick. All right, I'm gonna shut up with my yammer, yammering and get to some of these questions now. Question: do you ever feel nauseous after a meal? No, I don't. Anyone else out there? I know some people have reported things like that. I don't. I'm eating really strict lion right now. Uh, hasn't happened to me. I eat till I'm comfortably full. So if you're overeating, maybe that could be an issue, or maybe if you ate something a little bit weird. But I haven't. The only issues I've had with meals that I've been telling Jen to be careful about is drinking water. I noticed when I first started carnivore, I was getting a lot of fat, and I always drank a ton of water. So I'd have ice water, and when I would drink a lot of water with my meal, I would get some heartburn and some stomach issues, and that's very common. And the advice for that is just don't drink water like a half an hour before you eat, all the way through when you eat. Give it a half hour after, and then drink a little bit later. So I've been doing that a lot more, and that's been helping. So I've had heartburn. I haven't been nauseous. So if anyone else has any tips for Lisa, please leave them below. Judy, I asked on the video of the $85 steak for Emma, what is the name of the restaurant? We are from Wisconsin. I'm curious. That was, see, this is the carnivore brain. If you would have asked me this before, I wouldn't have been able to remember. Kaminsky's Chop House. It's in Chula Vista Resort in Wisconsin Dells. And it was pretty good. I'm not highly suggesting it. I've gone in a couple times and I really liked it, but $85 is ridiculous for steak. This was a one-time thing. I was trying to go overboard too because it'd be like a fun YouTube video, and I was really just doing it because Emma, she's a vegan for 5 years, so it's like, kid, you've earned this, and she helped me a ton on the woodshed. So all those, I'm not normally going to this place for $85 steaks. Afterwards, Emma was like, "Yeah, that was good," but we're like, you know how many steaks we could make at home, and head to head, my steak tastes better than their steak. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. When I smoke and reverse sear a ribeye and it's this thick, you go to this place and it's $85 and the steak's like this thick. I'm like, for $85, you should give me something. It should be a little bit thicker. So sorry, I'm not bad mouthing them. You want to go out to eat and don't cook your own steak. It was a pretty good place. I'm trying to think where else did I go recently that was good. Oh, the Dell Bar in Wisconsin Dells, not too far from Kaminsky's Chop House, maybe 15 minutes away from there. They were very good. And I took Emma there once. I didn't get this on video. And they actually had bone marrow butter on the menu. I was so excited. This was before I was doing Lion Diet, not doing butter, but I ordered it and they didn't have any. So I've wanted to get back there and try that. But the Dell Bar in the Dells, that was one of my. I like that one a little bit better. Also very expensive though. Great question. I love local questions, movie theater questions, whatever you guys got. I love talking about everything. Oh, here we go. I kind of answered this one already. What advice do you have for severe heartburn while eating carnivore? Watch your water and fat if you consume too much fat and have water. I've had that heartburn before. So I just mentioned it before, so I won't spend too much time on it. But try not to drink water around the times you're eating and watch your fat input. Most people don't get enough fat on carnivore. You may be doing the opposite and getting a little bit more than you need. I know people like if you have a bunch of butter or you eat some butter plain, you can get heartburn really bad just having a whole bunch of fat at one time. So try to cut back on the butter and not drink too much water around the times you're eating. Someone said, doing carnivore diet for 3 weeks, I noticed my urine smells sometimes. Is that normal? I think that is normal. I think that has to do with your body going into ketosis. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't know, but I know you have lots of changes with your urine and your breath can smell when you're getting into burning ketones. So that's my best answer on that one. Again, please, everyone else, leave more comments if I'm answering one. You're like, yes, but think about this or something. Someone shout out, I got to show this one. Shane Jones, Dr. Ken Berry, and Dr. Jason Fung helped me lose weight fast. Many other awesome doctors and carnivore people on here. I agree 100%. I said that to Dr. Baker today. I said, sincerely, thank you so much because Dante from Frigno Freedom inspired me, but I still thought this was insane. And it wasn't until I saw some doctors online with really good research, really honest doctors where they're just spitting the truth. And I didn't do it lightly either. I didn't watch one Dr. Berry video and said, okay, I'm doing carnivore. I watched more videos of Dr. Berry's than he's probably seen of himself. And I've probably read more comments on his videos. And it was the comments that really convinced me to give carnivore a try. But thank goodness, sincerely, to Dr. Berry and Dr. Baker and Dr. Jason Fung and Dr. Anthony Chafee. These guys, you got to be so courageous to start carnivore. It's going against everything you've ever been told. And to do that as a doctor in a business hospital, being a doctor where everybody's telling you to do the opposite, you got to be incredibly brave and really stick your neck out. So I'm so thankful for all of those guys changing the world and changing so many lives. It's amazing. All right, let's see, what other questions do we have? Here we go. Mars 54, day 9. Congratulations. You're through the hardest part. The hardest part is that first week. The hardest part is getting started, getting into ketosis. You're feeling great, many benefits already, but you're really weak. How long, more or less, does it take for the body to get used to this and pick up energy and strength again? Everybody's different, so it's hard to say. But one thing, whenever I hear anybody say, I'm incredibly weak, I always ask them, make sure you're doing everything properly. Watch Dr. Berry's video, Carnivore Diet 101. Dr. Chafee has a great one too on the carnivore diet. Make sure you're getting enough water and electrolytes. Oftentimes when people say they're fatigued and they're not feeling well, they're not getting one of three things: not enough fatty meat, not enough electrolytes, or not enough water. Make sure you're getting those. And I've been having this little conversation with Jen over and over again today. I'm like, you're doing great. You're feeling great. That's good. But you got to keep on top of it this first week. You got to get lots of fatty meat, way more water than you would think. Your body processes through so much water. And some people are either way on the electrolytes, but I use the electrolytes. Excuse me. I use the Keto Chow electrolytes I started out with, and I'm using Element now, the raw ones with nothing in them. And my girls all did it. None of them got the keto flu. And I hear so many people saying they're weak or they got the keto flu. And most of the times they're not taking the right amount of electrolytes or getting enough fat. So take a look at that would be my advice. Make sure you've got those three things accounted for. PR Mike. Yes, we need to share our experiences so we can learn and spread the message to these that never heard about carnivore lifestyle. Absolutely. I just think about all the people out there that are clueless about this, but are also desperate. Uh, I've said it before, but the worst thing for me was just the depression I had was horrible. But the fact that it was prolonged for so many years, taking unnecessary medication that never helped me, made me feel like a zombie. And for years, I did that. I wish so much that I knew about carnivore back then, because I don't have an inkling of depression and I have zero anxiety. And my whole life I've had anxiety, but at my worst, it was very bad. I have no anxiety now. I jumped on a call with Dr. Baker today. I'm like, what's up? What's going on? It's amazing to have no anxiety in life. I'm meeting so many amazing people, making real human connections with people that never would have happened before because I would have been too anxious and I would have ignored them. I would have went away. I would have avoided them at all costs. So if you have a question, please leave it in the comments below. Wow, there's so many comments in here. Thank you guys so much. You guys are great. We have 306 people on here on a Thursday night at almost 8 p.m. Central Time. Really appreciate you guys. If you could leave a thumbs up. If you share these, they help. If you're interested in helping on the Carnivore Diet movie, one of the best things you can do is just go to the website, copy the little link, share it on Facebook. That will help immensely. The more people that help with this, the faster we'll be able to go and get shooting and get everything going and get the word out. Carnivore Ron. Thank you, Carnivore Ron. Appreciate you. Sorry, there's so many comments on here. So if you have a question, please leave a big Q Kimberly says, Dante is awesome. Love his channel. Yeah, I got to post that. Dante Ferrigno Freedom just got in his new house. I was watching his video today. He's the man. He's a legend. Just amazing, inspiring myself and so many people. I don't know what would have happened if I never saw his video. I might not have never started carnivore if it wasn't for Dante from Ferrigno Freedom. Question from my friend from Hawaii. Kerry, are you sleeping? Yeah, I don't know if you're asking that because I'm listing all these things we're doing. We're working at the movie theater. I'm fixing stuff at the homestead, filming a carnivore diet documentary, managing my YouTube channel. It's a breeze. It's a breeze. I am legitimately getting the work done of 3 of my former selves before. And yes, my friend, I am sleeping the best sleep of my entire life for 115 days now. And the last 27 days online, I might add, I've been sleeping even a little bit better. The sleep is worth the price of admission alone. I'm going to be down. If I lose 12 more pounds, I'll be down 100 pounds since my heaviest. I would, in a second, I would take that 100 pounds back, put it on my body if it meant I could still continue sleeping like this for the rest of my life. Everyone out there watching this deserves to live a life where you have no inflammation and you get a proper night's sleep like your body is supposed to sleep. It's just, there's so much junk and garbage food that goes into your body, and people are up to all hours and they wake up and they're in a brain fog, and it's so sad. I am sleeping, although I'm waking up earlier and earlier. So I used to do my morning workouts. I don't know if you guys saw the video, by the way, too. I was doing a pull-up. I hit my head really bad. It's on the channel if you guys want to watch. I've done those pull-ups every day for weeks now. Haven't had any injuries, but I was bound to happen. It was a little bit wet. I was doing a pull-up on this 4x4 where you can just get your fingertips on it. I slipped off and I hit my head. I'm okay. Thank you, everyone, for your nice comments. I got to be more careful. I almost got injured more showing that video to Jen. The girls thought it was really funny because I was twinkling my toes on the ground before I fell down and hit my head like I was trying to fly or something. So they got a real kick out of that. But I've been getting up earlier and earlier to do my morning workout. Every morning I get up, take the shoes off, 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. It's been right around 5 o'clock every day now. Let the chickens out. I go do my pull-ups. I walk, I stretch, I do my exercise. It's kind of my morning me time, and I'm wide awake. I wake up wide awake. I got these things too. My buddy Chad, who's the carnivore, who's the documentary filmmaker for the BBC. He suggested these things. These are blue light. They block blue light. And he was telling me he got these on Amazon. So I just picked them up on Amazon. He's telling me he wears these at night, maybe 2 hours before he goes to bed. And it's really helps with your sleep. I think it helps your melatonin or something like that. So I'm trying all this stuff. The grounding, no shoes on, feels great. I love walking around with no shoes on. People have been asking me, Kerry, what are you going to do when winter in Wisconsin comes? I figured that out today. I was pretty pumped and excited. I'm going to do the exact same thing. And you guys can watch it on my YouTube channel. I did a little bit of this last year, but I'm going to take my shoes off. I'm going to walk right through the snow. I'm going to do it right through spring, and my body's going to adapt. It's going to get colder and colder out, but I'm going to do it when it's fall and then it starts getting colder. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to go out there. Mark my words. I'm not going to miss a day. I haven't missed a day in weeks going out there every morning, 4 or 5 o'clock. Let the chickens out, do the exercise. I'm going to do it straight through winter. It'll make for some fun YouTube videos too. That's my me time. I got to do that. Stephanie asked, how is Jen doing on carnivore? Thank you, Stephanie. She's on day 4. She's doing great. It's tough though. It's not all perfect. She had a big meat aversion. She was a vegetarian for many years. She just hates meat and steak, but I'm giving her credit where credit is due. She's sucking it up and she's doing it. She wants to take control of her life, and she's doing really good. She had a couple steaks. Today she had a couple burgers and some eggs. So she's doing beef, butter, bacon, eggs. And I mentioned this earlier. Last night she was snoring about 40% what she normally does. I could notice it because she's been snoring for so long now, and she put up with me snoring for years and years and years. So she's doing wonderful. Day 4, awesome. It's so nice having the whole family doing it. I'm gonna have to change the name to Carnivore Family or something. Not the whole family. Katie isn't doing it yet. Alyssa did it a little bit, and she's like, I'm going to start back up after my birthday. The triplets, by the way, big news. They all turned 16. They all have their driver's license now. So watch out. Stay off the roads in Montello. Steer clear. Actually, they're pretty good drivers, but they're driving now, and they have their big birthday party at our house this weekend. They already celebrated the actual birthday, but they are. I think Alyssa was like, I'm gonna I'm going to enjoy my birthday and eat some junk food and then go back on carnivore. She's done really well on carnivore and then jumped off it on it. Love this comment. This was the name of my short. Carnivores don't get concussions. Actually, I think I called it Carnivores Don't Get Concussed. Someone said, will you include black carnivores in the doc? There are a few on YouTube. I think it will expand reach. Absolutely. Anyone that has a story worth sharing that is going to be a good example to other people, I will share for sure. Yeah, I would love that. I was just talking to a gentleman. His name is Kurt. I think it was Kurt the Cook. He did a YouTube video. He's been on carnivore for 3 weeks. And I left him a comment. He commented right back. He was really enthusiastic. So maybe we can get Kurt on here. I was going to message him back and say, shoot me a message when you hit day 30, because I'd love to talk to you. One of the things I've been doing is if I see someone on YouTube, like you mentioned, and I'm like, this person's got a good story, I will invite them to my YouTube channel and we'll do an interview. And it's like a rehearsal for the documentary. I've done that with Amanda from Carnivorous Me. I've done it with Sean. I've done it with Carnivore Ron. I did it just with Alex. So I've done like 7 or 8 of these now. It's been invaluable to be able to talk to these people, see how the chemistry is on camera, see if they've got a good story, see how inspiring they are. If I didn't have this YouTube channel, the documentary would be a lot harder. That's one of the big advantages I have, and I'm using it as best I can. So yeah, if you know of anyone, you're like, hey, this would be a good candidate for the Carnivore Diet documentary, please send them my way, shoot me a message. And I would love to start out, have them maybe on the YouTube channel and do an interview. Here we go. Question, do you naturally fast 15 hours, for example, with your carnivore lion diet? I do 23 hours fasting, 1 hour eating. I'm not bragging. That's just what it is. Now, when I did carnivore, I would eat sometimes twice a day and I'd spread it out more. And then usually the next day I would eat once a day. Now, what I've done every day for precisely 27 days, I will cook up a big fat steak, usually 1.5 pounds of meat, and I will eat it at right around noon or 1 o'clock. And for 1 hour, that's it. I eat it. I cook it. I grill it. I eat it. I clean up. And I was telling Dr. Baker today. So Jen walked in on me. I was watching a Dr. Baker video. You guys have probably seen these. Dr. Baker has this huge cutting board and a huge big knife, and he eats his steak on the cutting board. The cutting board's a plate. Well, Jen walked in and she saw me watch that, and she's like, hey, he's copying you. And I was like, no, Jen, he's not copying me. I'm copying him. So that's what I've been doing on Lion Diet. And yesterday I got a new cutting board. It's this beautiful maple cutting board. A company actually sent it to me, not for free, but in return as a barter for me to do a bunch of video and photo work of it. And I'm doing just that. I'm going to show it on my YouTube channel. It's a beautiful maple cutting board. But yeah, so I wash my cutting board. I wash my dishes. I put it all away. It's less than an hour. And then for 23 hours, I'm naturally fasting, or intermittent fasting, as they call it. There's all sorts of benefits to that. I wasn't necessarily doing it for the benefits, although I heard like I've got belly fat and skin that I got to lose because I was almost 100 pounds heavier than I am now. And so fasting is a good way. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, but to tighten up some of that loose skin. So I'm doing it for that reason, but I was basically just doing it because I'm lying. It just works out that way. I eat a big steak. I'm full. I'm not hungry. And I have enough energy to do 3 times the amount of work I was doing before. Here we go. Question from Mary. What should I do to relieve constipation? Maybe I should not put cheese on my hamburgers. Have lost my first 10 pounds. Congratulations on the 10 pounds. Awesome. Stop the cheese. Stop the cheese. I'm going to make a t-shirt that says stop the cheese. There's just so many issues with cheese. I know this from a fact because I did keto on and off for years. I had a lot of cheese. I've tested things on my body. Keto with cheese, keto without cheese, keto with high fat. I've tested so many things, and cheese always stalled my weight loss, and it would also cause constipation, and you don't need it. I haven't had any cheese in 115 days. Yeah, on carnivore, I never did cheese. From day 1 of carnivore, I never did cheese. I've been doing lion for 27 days, so I definitely didn't have any during that time either, but just stop the cheese. Try it once without it. Burger's great. Lots of Redmond salt, and you cook it nice and medium. You don't need that cheese on there. It's just going to cause you so many issues. Just try it for a while and see. The other thing, if you ever get constipation on carnivore or lion diet, is watch your fat. It's a great gauge. I just had one issue with constipation, and that was when I started lion. So many people leave that comment. Oh my God, you got no fiber. You're going to have this problem. I was perfectly regular for 100 days or 90 days that I was doing carnivore. I had no issues whatsoever. When I switched from carnivore, when I was eating a lot of eggs and bacon and stuff like that, and I stopped that and I went to just lion, just meat, I did have a period of like a week or so where I didn't go number two, but it wasn't painful. It wasn't constipation. If you think about it, when you're eating lion diet, you're giving your body like the best nutrition. You're giving it everything it needs and it uses. When you're on the standard American diet, you're putting all of this garbage in there. So you put waste in, you get a lot of waste out. So you're going to go less. But one way, if you're not getting enough fat, you may run into that problem. So if things are going slow in the number two area, up your fat. If things are going fast and you're just constantly on the toilet, maybe you're having too much fat. But I think a lot of people end up not getting enough. Yeah, here we go. Shane, we're on the same page. Too much fat can cause bad diarrhea. Exactly. Question: is it normal to feel yucky at all? I ate this morning some same stuff and just wasn't feeling good. I feel fine now. I've felt amazing this whole time. I try to be careful and not be the Billy Mays of carnivore and too enthusiastic. I try to be as truthful as I can. I was feeling horrible before this, so maybe anything would feel better, but I haven't felt yucky at all. If it were me, or if Jen came to me and said she was feeling weird, I would say water, electrolytes. Are you getting enough fat? Are you getting enough water, enough electrolytes, and enough fat? And I would check those things first. Other than that, what did you do? Because what did you eat? Maybe it's something you ate or drank that was different that's causing those issues. Someone said, does this work for everyone, all body types? I'm not a doctor or nutritionist, but I think so. And I think I've heard the great Dr. Berry say this is the proper human diet for everybody. And I believe that as well. I believe this is the way humans have evolved to eat. And I believe it's the proper human diet, regardless of your body type. And I've had thousands. I'm not exaggerating when I say thousands. In the last 28 days, we've had over 1 million views on my carnivore videos and thousands of comments. And they're from people with all different types of bodies and all different types of ages. We have people that are 70 years old, people that are 20 years old, people that are morbidly obese, people that are just trying to lose a little bit of weight. So, we got a couple super chats. Thank you guys so much. Shane Jones, $1.99. Thank you. Every penny going to the Carnivore Diet documentary. B, meats just because. Thank you so much. And Diana, here we go. Grounding pads are handy for colder climates too. I'm a carnivore RN, down 6 pounds in 12 days. Electrolytes and red mint salt help huge starting lion diet. Awesome. I've heard about grounding pads, and I think a company sent Jen and I one to do a video on it. And I wasn't even sure what it was. Is that like a blanket you put on the ground? You sit on it or do yoga on it or something? Could you tell me a little bit more about that? I'd be interested to know. I think I might actually have one here in our little storage area of the movie theater that I've been meaning to take a closer look at. Carnivore Ron, my friend, what time do you eat? I can't eat past 4 p.m. I eat between noon and 1, unless I have a call with Dr. Baker like I did today, and then it was a little bit later, which is fine for me. But every day, lion diet, 1 meal a day, noon to 1, and that's it. And I'm done eating for the rest of the day. Kerry, have you heard about the carnivore documentary called Food Lies? Yes, I think so. I think someone sent me that, and I have it on my list to watch. I don't think I've watched the whole thing yet. I think I started watching it, and I've got it on my list to watch the rest of it. I can't remember if that was specifically carnivore or more keto, but thank you for the heads up. If you're recommending it, or either way, I'm going to take a closer look. And if anyone else has any other recommendations, my first documentary I watched in this area was Fathead, and it was about ketogenic diet, and it's what got me onto keto 15, 20 years ago. Oh, someone else said too much fat can make me nauseous. That's a good point too. Yeah, so the commenter earlier was asking about being nauseous after eating. It might be that you're getting a little too much fat. Oh, here we go. Great question. Yeah, any other questions you guys have, please leave them down below with a big Q. Even if you want to just chat about the movie theater or the homestead or Emma and the family, love to talk about it. So my radical healing rebellion, I'm technologically impaired. Laugh out loud. Any advice for a newbie starting a YouTube channel? Yes. So my friend Alex, who I just did a video with, he's thinking of starting a channel. Well, he has started a channel, but he was a little nervous for that same reason, technologically impaired. If you have one of these, It's all you need. Now, if you watch my Thursday video, you guys might get overwhelmed and be like, because I edit the heck out of those and I've got drone shots, I've got all this. You don't need that. It depends on your YouTube channel. If you're going to talk about carnivore or healing, for example, a lot of people just want to hear your story. The cameras on these phones now are amazing. You can get so much done with the camera. So that would be my advice to you is start out simple. Don't think you have to go buy an expensive camera and memory cards and a tripod and everything. Start filming yourself with your camera on your phone. There's a great YouTube app. The YouTube app, you can actually film and then just load it right to the YouTube app. You fill in the title and the description. And I mean, there's a lot of things to do YouTube better, like having really good thumbnails and things like that. But those will all come in time. Just get your story out there and start filming. Start on your phone, and then you can work your way up from there. The other thing I would suggest is YouTube itself. So if you run into a roadblock and you're like, I don't know how to do a thumbnail, or what does this mean, or what is that? Put it in YouTube. The answer to every question you have, I guarantee you, is on YouTube already. So I always tell my girls that. I know I harp on it, but I'm like, we live in an amazing age where I have an obscure old minivan, and let's say I need to change the tie rod end on it. I could go on YouTube and find the precise video for that exact car, year, make, and model, and the tie rod. That's amazing. Our minds should be blown from that. So much great information on carnivore nutrition and everything you could ever imagine. So check out YouTube and do some research too if you get stuck on anything, or reach out to me. I'm always happy to help if I can. Oh, Judy said, Kerry, thanks on the steak place. Yeah, I'll talk about steak places and local places anytime, Judy. Ishnala on Mirror Lake is awesome, but expensive. I agree. We seem to make great steaks at home and much cheaper. I've been meaning to go to Ishnala. I took the girls there and we went on a hike, and it was across, and we went kayaking on Mirror Lake. Beautiful. And you look up and you can see Ishnala up there. I've never eaten inside there, but I've meant to. Maybe I'll have to try that sometime. But yeah, it's Dr. Chafee was saying that too. It's so much better making steak at home, especially when you've made so many of them. I know exactly how to prepare it, make it taste as good as it can. Sometimes you go to those places and I'm always worried. I'll tell them, hey, I'm allergic to oil. I'm allergic to this. I want nothing on my steak. Throw the raw meat on the grill and give it to me. I put nothing on it because a lot of times I'll rub garlic on it or seasoning or oils. So I always have that in the back of my head going to places too, which is another reason. It just seems easier to make it at home. Gina, question, how do you stick with it? I'm really struggling with that. I'll do good for a week, then I fail. Just do it. You can do it. Just stick to it. This is how I did it. I said, my life was so horrible before. I didn't have an alternative. And the thought of going back to that life, no, I'm not going to quit. The other thing that helped me is setting smaller goals. So like I can do anything for a week. I can do anything for a month. You, Gina, I know you can do anything for a month. Part of the thing too, when I hear people say they struggle and then they give in, are you sure that in that course of that week that you've fully gotten into ketosis and that you're burning your fat for fuel and that you're no longer having those sugar cravings? Because sometimes when I dig in deeper to some of these people, be like, yeah, I'm a carnivore, but I couldn't give up my Diet Coke, so I still have my Diet Coke. Well, Diet Coke has artificial sweeteners in it and things that can trigger your body to think you're still having sugar, and it can cause those cravings and all sorts of other issues. And so some people, make sure you're fully in keto, because I've heard people say they struggle with that. The first week is a struggle for everyone on keto because you have to get your body into ketosis. That can take several days. That could take a week. It could take longer. And you could go through the keto flu. Your body processes a ton of water. This is a huge thing, getting into ketosis. So that's the other thing you should keep in mind, Gina. It's like you're going to go through all that work, get into ketosis, and then the next week be like, oh, I can't do it anymore. I'm going to quit. And then you stop. Your body's now out of ketosis, and now you want to start again. Now you got to go a whole other week, go through all the water changing, and maybe go through the keto flu again. Just stick with it. You can do anything for a month. When I did it for a month, I was going to quit. I felt incredible on 30 days. There's no way I'm quitting after 30 days. Jen's doing the same thing right now. She's on day 4. She said, I'm just doing this for a month and that's it. I'm like, okay, honey, that's great. You're just doing it for a month. In my head, I know when she hits 30 days, I guarantee you, I bet every penny I have in the bank, she's going to feel amazing. And there's no way she's going to want to quit at a month. I'm not forcing her to do anything. I didn't force her to do carnivore. She decided to do it on her own. It's been 115 days. So if I was going to push her, it would have been a long time ago. She's been trying and struggling. She's been trying to do keto and some other things. So I'm so happy she's doing this because I truly believe this is the proper human diet and it's going to work for her. But that's how she's doing it, Gina. Jen is She's taking it one day at a time, then 1 week at a time, then 1 month at a time. And just really think about, Gina, think about this. If you quit right now because you don't want to do it anymore, what's going to happen to you 5 years from now? What are you going to look like when you continue eating the way that you're cheating when you do? What's going to happen 5 years from now? How are you going to look? How are you going to feel? How's your life going to be? Now think about how's it going to be 5 years from now if you're eating the proper human diet and you're giving your body everything it needs. Rat Bastards love the name. I clicked on it just because of the name. Would you accept a modified carnivore person for your movie like Carnivore 6 out of 7 days? I don't know. I mean, if you have a great story and it's really inspiring and it's going to help people, it's going to be tough because there's going to be so many people that want to be involved, and we're probably going to have a bunch of people, and then maybe some people fall off and they quit, or they decide they don't want to do it, or maybe they have a technical issue. So we don't want to just do one. So if we do it and you have a really good story and it's inspiring people more than the other stories are, because there's only going to be so much airtime, then for sure I guess we would do that as well. I guess it depends on your reason too and why you're doing that kind of thing. Uh, it's got to be tough doing carnivore for 6 days, and then if you do like a cheat day or something, but if you got a great story, for sure, for sure. Mark W. How much water do you drink in a day? How much of that has electrolytes added? Emma, my daughter Emma, she has this big gallon jar. She drinks almost a gallon a day. And in the morning, she'll put a whole bunch of electrolytes in there. Now, the first week, we both were much more strict on getting the electrolytes. I still have electrolytes almost all the time, but now I have this bottled water. There's no electrolytes in it. So in the morning, every morning, after I do my outside workout, I come in, I get a glass of ice water. I put a couple of I put some of the electrolytes in it. When I started, it was the keto chow. Now I'm doing the element, the raw stuff. So I've been feeling great. Like if I ever get, I've just been feeling fine the whole time. So I'm a bad judge of it. But I tell Jen and the girls, if you start to feel weak or tired, up the electrolytes, drink more water, and see how you feel. But that's one thing I love with carnivore. I don't measure a lot of stuff. I don't really measure anything. Don't count my calories. Don't count my carbs. Don't do the keto test. It's like, I can't do anything different. Someone asked me that, did you check your ketones? I'm like, I can't do anything different. What else am I going to do? I'm eating meat. There's like almost no carbs in it. There's nothing else I can do. So I don't really measure anything. Carnivore Crusader. I scrutinized every detail before diving into Carnivore 2. As a fellow homesteader who grows, raises most of my own food, I wasn't convinced at first either. Awesome. Love that. Everyone listen to Carnivore Crusader and do the same thing. I scrutinized every detail. I spent so much time researching, reading. Even when I saw Dr. Barry's videos reversing type 2 diabetes, I'm like, this guy's a scam artist. This is a scam. There's no way people are reversing diabetes by eating meat. It's insane. You can't eat only meat. Then I started reading and scrutinizing all of the comments, thousands of comments. I'm like, so wait, all these people are lying too? Why? What is their motivation for going on Dr. Barry's channel and lying over and over again? All these unique stories. And then you can click on their name and you can go see their YouTube channel and you can actually see the results with your own 2 eyes. Yeah, there's scrutinize, research. That's the thing. The hardest part about carnivore is making the decision to start, and you have to be confident in that decision. And in order to do that, you can't have somebody, a lot of people are out there, they'll leave me comments where they want me to push them. Be like, here, go do this and eat this and do that and do the carnivore. No, that's your decision. You have to scrutinize, do the research, be comfortable, and make your decision, and then go from there. Michelle also said, Gina, keep trying. Hun, you'll eventually get over the cravings. It's hard at the beginning, but you'll get there. Yes, that's true too. If you're just starting that first week, I had cravings. Emma had cravings. Jen has cravings right now. Get through those cravings. They're there, but once you get through them, oh, they're gone. I have no cravings now. 115 days. The first week I had a couple cravings. Nothing. It goes away. That craving you've had your whole life. You know what that craving is? It's an addiction to sugar. Just like an alcoholic craves another drink, or someone that's on a hard drug craves more of that drug, you're craving that sugar. Your body is begging for it. Sugar is more addictive than nicotine, and it's more damaging than nicotine, in my opinion. And so you got to get over that craving. But once you do, it's gone. I don't wake up now. I haven't waken up in the last 100 days and thought, I really want some sugar today. I have a craving for it. I just don't have it. I'm not hungry. I eat a big steak and I'm full, and that's it. I don't think about food. Food is no longer for entertainment. It's just sustenance, although I really do enjoy a good steak still. Carnivore Ron said, Carnivore Ron's got a great YouTube channel. Go check him out too. I didn't start in the gym until 2 years after eating. That was almost the same thing. Well, not quite 2 years, but I didn't start working out until I lost the weight. I've said that before on the channel. I'll say it again real quick. When I was fat, I was sick, I was fatigued, I had brain fog. I was like someone that had pneumonia. I couldn't go out and exercise. So when people tell you if you're way overweight, just go exercise, you'll lose the weight. False. I'm almost down 100 pounds. Not 1 pound of that I lost working out. And I know people say, well, I see you working out and doing pull ups and stuff. I only started doing that after I lost most of the weight and I was healthier again. And you get the energy and you want to do it. Hello from the Philippines. Carnivore here. Awesome. Colleen, thank you. What part of the Philippines are you from? I have a good friend. Maybe he's on here right now. His name is Dan. I've known him for 10 years. And he helps me with some of my website projects and my former business. And he still helps me with some of those things. And he's a carnivore now, too. Out of the blue, it was like, I'm on day 25 of carnivore. I was like, what? It's amazing. And he's doing it with his son. And you guys want to know what his son's name is? Guess what his son's name is? His son's name is James Kerry, Kerry. My friend Dan named his son's middle name after me, which was just an amazing honor, shocking, and I still can't believe it. So I always joke with the girls. I'm like, one of these days, I'm going to get out to the Philippines. I'm going to go visit my son, Kerry Jr. I have triplets plus one, 4 girls, and I have a little Filipino boy that's my son, Kerry Jr. But he's the coolest kid. He's been posting with his dad on Facebook his carnivore updates, and changing lives in the Philippines is amazing. It's awesome. I'm going to maybe we could have Dan in the carnivore doc. That'd be awesome. But I want to get to the Philippines someday and visit my good friend Dan and my son, Kerry Jr. Jennifer, Texas Carnivore. Kerry, I hope you have loads of people start carnivore YouTube channels. The more people that do that, the more evidence the world will see. Yes, yes, yes. Please do it. And if you want to be involved in the Carnivore Diet documentary, I'm not saying you have to, but it's really going to help. If I can look at your YouTube videos and see some progression and see how things are going, that's going to help. There's just limited space in the YouTube thing. And a lot of people have sent in a video. We're still going to take that into account, but a little, 30-second video is a lot less convincing versus seeing your journey over time on the carnivore diet. And it's just an amazing thing. Just a carnivore diet movie aside, like Jennifer said, it will inspire people. You're going to get a comment on your video and say, I stumbled upon your video. It changed my entire life. Now I'm doing carnivore. I have my life back now because of it. There's no bigger calling in life than to be able to help be even a small part of changing someone's life like that. It's amazing. Congratulations, Jennifer, coming up on 1 year in September. That is awesome. You started, Jennifer, right when we took over our small town movie theater. September 18th was when we reopened. September 18th, we have our 1 year anniversary. I'm trying to figure out, leave a comment down below if anyone has suggestions. I'll get a little off track here for a second. We played Back to the Future when we did our grand reopening. My wife and Jenna and the family and I took over the theater. Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And this awesome guy came out, volunteered, brought the DeLorean time machine replica car. We had it parked out front of the theater. It was amazing. And now I'm completely panicking because we have our 1 year anniversary coming up. I want to do throwback movie weekend. I'm like, what can we play? You can't top Back to the Future and the DeLorean sitting outside. Any suggestions you guys have, please tell me. My brother-in-law gave me a great one. He's like, play the original Batman with Michael Keaton and then the new Batman movies. Awesome. I don't know if I could ever get a Batmobile out there. That would be in a perfect world. However, I can't get the new Batman movies. I'd love to show the Michael Keaton one, but I need something with 3. That's the tricky part. Now I'm panicking because it's going to come up so quick. But if anyone has any ideas, please leave them below. Or if you have any questions about the theater, I'd love to talk about it. One thing I was thinking is maybe do like a themed weekend, like all Tom Hanks movies or something like that. We sold out. We broke records for A Man Called Otto this year, which was Tom Hanks' movie. So Carnivore Ron, I should pull that video up. I cringe seeing you fall. You all right, no headache. That rang my bell, Carnivore Ron. Thank you for your concern. I was hesitant to post that video, but hey, got to be honest with people. And it was pretty entertaining. I would have loved watching that. Yeah, so I was doing pull-ups. I fell. I hit my head. Carnivore Ron, I have done that maneuver and climbed up on the top of that thing countless times. This was just a freak thing that happened. It was kind of wet. And it's dumb like gripping, but it's kind of fun. You grip just like this. It's just the fingertips versus a pull-up bar where your hands go all the way around it. I hit my head hard, but I was okay. I got up, I walked it off. I didn't show it in that video. I got up and I went to jump up and do it again. And I grabbed on and I was like, no, this is a bad idea. I've already been foolish enough for one day. And so I went back in the house. But I was out there again this morning and I did it again. Now I'm using a chair just to be more safe. Initially, when I started doing the pull-ups there, I would always have a chair under me. And then I was like, I was getting reckless. I would just jump up there. It's high too. It's like 10 feet. So I can just jump high enough and just barely get my fingertips on top. So I am okay. I don't have any concussion, and that was filmed yesterday or 2 days ago. So I am good. Like I said earlier, I was going to get injured more from Jen being mad at me when I showed her the video. Triplets thought it was hilarious because my feet were twinkling through the air as I was trying to like fly, preventing myself from falling. Hannah says, I'm planning on coming to see a movie at your theater. Where's a good place to eat as a carnivore there? Hannah, if you come to the theater, please say hi. I had some people come out to the theater before, a carnivore couple. They were awesome. I gave them a tour of the theater. Love talking to carnivores. I got to do a carnivore meetup. I've been saying it. I've just been so busy. I haven't had time to plan it or advertise it or figure out when we could do it or a good date. I want to have a carnivore meetup right above us. And I can get Dr. Chafee or maybe Dr. Barry or maybe a couple and have them live stream right on the big screen while we're sitting there watching and asking questions, do some carnivore talk. And oh, it would be so much fun. To answer your question, though, I apologize. I'm rambling again. Where's a good place to eat at a carnivore there? My town of Montello that I live in here, 1,400 people, one stoplight. There's not a lot of choices here. There's nothing that I could recommend and feel good about myself saying, Hannah, go eat here. They got great steaks right by the theater. There is in Portage, which is about 25 minutes, 30 minutes away. It's where I took the triplets. If you want to see that, you can watch today's video Thursday at 4. I posted a little earlier today. I took Emma there, Alyssa and Katie for their birthday. That's called Susie's Steakhouse. They're pretty good. They're pretty good, and the price is reasonable. It's not amazing. It's nothing like I could make, but that would be my recommendation. And maybe depending on what direction you're coming from, it's right off the expressway. So if you're coming kind of from the southwest Madison direction, it would be right on your way. That would be what I recommend, Susie's Steakhouse. Let's go. Sorry, we got so many questions. We got so many comments here. I really appreciate it. Okay, love this one. Thank you. I haven't had this question before. Kerry, what process did you take to begin working out? Let me first say this. I hated working out before carnivore. I would never do it. Jen and I did P90X once years ago. We stuck with that for a while, but I didn't even make it the full time. I hated it. I love it now. I love it now. I have so much energy. It's like my alone time. It's like meditation. It's waking up. It's like all these things together. The process I took, unlike the video you guys might have seen where I fell down and just cracked my head yesterday doing pull-ups, I started out very slow and maybe I've gone a little too gung-ho. Here's what I did. I started out walking. We have a little elliptical like exercise bike. I did that for a while. I enjoy kayaking and biking. So those are two things I did a little bit of beginning carnivore. I didn't, like I said, I didn't do any of this exercise until I lost all the weight and I was really starting to feel energized with excess energy. So doing things that you enjoy, that would be my advice. I really enjoy riding bikes and kayaking. So those were two things I started doing. The pull-ups, a lot of people ask me about the pull-ups because I've been hammering out the pull-ups more and more. I'm getting a lot better at it. If you would have asked me 116 days ago to do one pull-up for $1 million, I couldn't have done one pull-up. For $1 million, I couldn't have done one pull-up before. How I started on the pull-ups was resistance bands. I highly recommend this. Not an affiliate. You can get them on Amazon. I got a whole bunch of these. I started out doing resistance bands and I bought these little hooks and I put them on the wall in my house, and the resistance bands, you just pull, you can just do a little bit of exercise and you can self-regulate it. It's not like going on the ground and picking up a big heavy weight. It's like, oh man, you could like injure yourself. You can self-regulate. You pull on it. You're like, oh, this is too much. You just let go and you got that resistance. That's why they call it a resistance band. Then they sell different thicknesses that are harder. And so I started with the resistance bands and with the pull-ups, that was the big thing. I couldn't do one pull-up. Actually, Emma taught me this. She said, hey, we did this in school, Dad. And she showed me, took one of the big, thick resistance bands. I put it around the pull-up bar, the one in the house, not the one outside that I fell off of. We have one in the house that I use regularly too. Put the resistance band around the pull-up bar and then down, and I put my knee in it. And so I would do pull-ups like this. but I would have the resistance band assisting me, basically helping me pull up. And I could, the first time I tried, like, oh, this is way easier. I was using a thick resistance band. So that was the way I started. That's how I started doing that. And then I reduced the resistance bands until I had none. I could do one pull up finally. And for a long time, it was just like one. I was like, that's it. I'm out. I'd walk away. I'd do something else. Every time, get a pull up bar too. I have a pull up bar in the house. They have ones that can go for your door. Every time you go through the door, you tell yourself you got to do a pull up now. So I play these little games, and that really helps me. The other thing, started with the resistance bands, and then I started lifting weights. And so I have some dumbbells, and I would leave them in my office because I'm in and out of my office, my home office, all the time. I'm editing YouTube videos. I'm working on the Carnivore Diet documentary. I'm doing live streams. I should get some here, actually. I have a kettlebell over there. But on my chair, if you see some of my videos, you might see them in the background. I have my dumbbells. And so anytime I go to the office or I leave the office, I gotta do the dumbbells a couple times. So I make little games out of it, but my biggest life-changing thing that I never would have imagined was getting into a routine. You start doing carnivore, you have more time, you have more energy. And my routine, I've talked about it before, but it's leaving the curtains open. When the sun starts shining, it hits my eyes, it wakes me up naturally. This I am not allowed to look at. The sun has to hit my eyes first. I can't turn a light on, a bathroom light, a hall light, nothing. I walk outside with no shoes on. I walk out, I get fresh air, I let the chickens out, wakes me up instantly. Seeing that sunshine hitting my eyes, my feet touching the ground, the grass, the fresh air going into my lungs, I'm instantly energized. And I really honestly look forward to it every morning. And then I've been jogging lately. I didn't do that at first. I started walking, and then I worked up to jogging. Started doing the pull-ups with the resistance band, started doing full-on pull-ups. So that's, hopefully that answers your question. And it's been a lot of fun. I really enjoy the exercise. Give yourself little challenges when you do carnivore. You have a lot of extra free time. There's people that do carnivore challenges within carnivore. That's why I started Lion Diet. I was like, Dante was doing Lion Diet for 900 days. I've been doing carnivore at that point when he told me that for 90 days. Like, I can go 10 days on carnivore to be a fun little challenge, a little mini challenge within carnivore to do Lion. So that's what I did. Other people do challenges like the sardine challenge or upping their fat content and seeing how they feel on that. Do little experiments on yourself. Well, you can do the same thing with exercise. Tell yourself, I can do anything for 30 days. I already did carnivore for 30 days. I can exercise for 30 days or do yoga for 30 days. Or every single day, I'm going to do 10 pull-ups. Another little game I played too with the pull-ups, I didn't get very far in this, but I'm going to start doing it again, is day one pull-up. That's it. Day two pull-ups in a row. And now throughout the day, you can go back in there and do some more, but then just keep doing that and see how far you can go. When you get to day 10, can you do 10 pull-ups in one go? And see, it might take a while, but it's kind of fun. So I set it up so that these things are always in front of me, that whether it's the pull-up bar or the resistance bands or the dumbbells, they're always in front of me. And it's just a regular part of my life now. Princess de jour says, I cannot get into ketosis. I'm currently 48 hours into a fast and have not lost a pound. I would give yourself some more time. I don't know how long you've been trying, but 48 hours into a fast, that may not be long enough. It could take some people several days or even a week to get into ketosis. And please don't worry about your weight so soon. If you're going to start something like this, measure. The scale is so deceiving. When you get into ketosis, your water weight fluctuates like crazy, and it's going to be so discouraging. But you may lose some weight, you may gain some water weight, but lose inches. So measure yourself. Carnivores don't wear shoes. Someone said to me, leave some comments down below if you guys have any carnivores don't. I want to do a whole episode on that. Someone's like, you got to do a t-shirt, carnivores don't. If you're not familiar, that's my new saying. I'm driving the family nuts. Like one of the girls the other day said, I'm so tired, I'm going to take a nap. I'm like, carnivores don't nap? What are you talking about? Carnivores don't get sunburn. Carnivores don't nap. Carnivores don't get allergies or sniffles. Carnivores don't get tired. There's so many carnivores don't wear snowshoes. That's for sure. If you guys have any good carnivores don't, please let me know. It's the dad joke in me. I don't know. I find it hilarious. Here we go. Cameron Puthoff. Kerry, I'm trying to get more awareness around here. I'm in Lower Arkansas. I've had great results. So I started a local Facebook group. Everyone that tries can post the results and help inspire friends. That's awesome. Good for you. I think you'll just see it end up start growing and growing. Maybe if you get a YouTube channel going or something, you can get some more people over there. Michelle said, "I'm looking forward to your winter videos. Winter in Wisconsin can be brutal, but I love winter. It's so peaceful here." I agree. I did keto on and off, and I had this little phase where I was watching the Wim Hof videos um, about going out in the cold. Jen took a video of me at one time. I was actually running down the driveway with no shoes on, and it was 10 degrees out or something. It was all ice and snow. And I was running because when I stopped, my feet were freezing. But I was doing that for a little while and then I fell off of it. I was still way overweight then, but I know I can do it again. So I'm gonna power through. That was one thing someone said to me before. They're like, "What are you gonna do in wintertime?" And I was like, "Oh man, I don't even want to think about that. I'm loving the sunshine and the heat, but the winter's beautiful in Wisconsin. Seasons are great. We got a lot of work to do on our homestead because we heat our entire property with our firewood. So I'm so far behind on that right now. But chapstick drama question: on my second week, age 65, lost 13 pounds the first week. Was it flip flopping for you because you've lost 13 pounds? Because you explain it all. Yes. So you said the first week, was it flip flopping? Yes. That first week is nuts. Really, really measure yourself and just don't even look at the scale. The scale is so deceiving. Your water weight will fluctuate so much on carnivore, and don't even look at the scale. There's an app called Fat Secret. I think Jen's using this one, and it's for counting calories and carbs. She's not really using it for that, but you can also put, if you have a weight loss goal, you can put the goal in this app. There's lots of apps like this. You don't just have to use this one. This one was called Fat Secret, and you can put, it'll ask you your weight, of course, but then it'll ask you all your measurements, like your arm and your waist and your neck and all these things. It's real quick. Just do it. So many people don't do it. Just measure yourself. You will thank me so much. And then when you think about getting on the scale, pull that tape measure out, measure yourself again, go back in the app or your piece of paper, wherever you wrote it down, and it will be much more encouraging for you because water weighs a lot and the body fluctuates a ton of water getting into ketosis. Oh, some specific questions here. Does it work for all body types? I think I answered that before. Yes, I believe it does. All ages, all body types. What is the first step to start? The first step to start is do your research. I'm not going to tell you, go do this and go eat that. Do your research. So here's the research I would suggest. Google, Dr. Chafee has carnivore. I think it's a carnivore 101. Dr. Berry has a carnivore 101, carnivore mistakes. If you watch those videos, it will answer all of your questions. I get this question a lot, and I'm not trying to avoid your question, but there's so much nuance and there's so much information that you need to know to start. A lot of people are like, I'll just go eat a steak and that'll be it. Well, you're going to set yourself up for failure. You need to know why you're doing this. You need to know how to do it. And these videos are free. You can go watch them, and they have all of this information and research in it. They're maybe 10, 15 minutes long. That will explain it a million times better than I could hear in just a quick text reply or just talking about it. How should I schedule it? What to look for? So what to look for? That's my best advice. Just go down the rabbit hole now. You got YouTube. You're on the internet. It's free. Dr. Berry, Dr. Chafee, Carnivore 101, Carnivore Mistakes, How to Start Carnivore Diet. And then you'll feel a lot more comfortable doing it. I don't know the answer to this question. Where can I find beef or turkey bacon without sugar? I don't like pork. Anyone can help with that. Please leave below, comment below. Bacon is a tough one. Bacon is a tough one. Emma and I did a video a while back where we bought pork belly, and I smoked it for a couple hours in our smoker, and then we put salt on it, and it was delicious. And so there wasn't any sugar in it. There wasn't anything bad in it. So, but I'm not sure on that. If anyone else knows, please leave a comment for Afi below. Question: do you use liquid IV or something similar when starting out? I suppose you could. I've never done a liquid IV. I used Keto Chow drops or Element drops in a ton of water. So electrolyte drops are what most people end up doing. I'm not familiar with most people using a liquid IV, although I have heard some good things about those. Oh, this is a great question. Homestead How, have you considered maybe doing a documentary based on your book about Montella Theater's history and showing it in your theater? Profits going to reserve the theater. I love that idea. I would love to do that. Maybe sometime. My whole mission in life now is the Carnivore Diet documentary, and the reason being is I think I could change so many more lives that way. But I'm so passionate about this place and the history here, so I would love to do that. We had this senior citizen group of 35 come in about 2 weeks ago, and couldn't get them all up in the projector room. Obviously, they were an older group, and it was a large group of 35. So I went up and Jen filmed me, and it was kind of like a little documentary. It was a little video giving them the tour of the projector room, and then we showed it on the screen, kind of like you're describing. So right before they watched their movie, they could watch this little thing. So that would be awesome. Even if it was a short documentary, I think that'd be really cool. Do it for a fundraiser. So the movie theater, if you guys don't know, our ticket prices are the lowest in the country. $5. It's half the industry. It's half the average, the national average. National average is like $9.50. $2 for small popcorn. I'm not rich. Okay. We got YouTube, and my wife and I have our own businesses that we run. We've got a dog kennel. We've got an Airbnb rental. I do website work. I was working on that stuff today. So, but this was a passion project, and we knew getting into it, we're going to be lucky if we can break even. Our goal is to just pay the bills and keep the doors open. This place has so much history. It needs to be preserved. And we've been able to do that in large part due to the history. I wrote that history book. A bunch of people bought it. We were selling it for 20 bucks a piece. Every penny from that goes back into the building to keep the prices fair and to preserve this building, because it goes back to 1859. Before Lincoln was president, this building was here. And so Emma and I just did it. And if you guys watched our video at 4:00 today, we fixed the brickwork on the side of the building. A couple of weeks ago, my Amish buddy and I, we redid the roof. We redid the carpet in the lobby. We're fixing everything up. We're putting all the money back into the building. The goal is to keep it for as long as possible. I would love to do that, Eric. Thank you for that question. Maybe once we do this Carnivore Diet documentary and knock it out of the park, maybe I could do something a little bit shorter in the meantime too. We'll see. Question: have you heard of or tried the Wim Hof method? Yeah, sorry, I'm kind of far behind. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. Yes, I have heard of it, and yes, I have tried it. The breathing exercises and the cold exposure. I loved it. I think as a carnivore, I'm going to love it even more. Although I'm a little nervous, I have to admit. One thing on carnivore that I've noticed is I get cold so much quicker. I think it's because I lost all that fat. I think that fat was keeping me warm. I get cold a lot quicker, but I'm going to slowly work into this. That's going to be the cool part with the Wisconsin winter. I go outside every morning. So when it's spring and it's just a little bit colder and a little bit colder, a little bit colder, I'm going to hit it through all of those days. My body will adjust and I'll get used to it. And just like carnivore, I could do anything for 30 days. Well, I can do anything for 30 minutes. I can walk in the snow for 30 minutes, exercise in the snow for 30 minutes, take a little YouTube video of it, hopefully inspire some people. Yeah, Wim Hof is awesome. He's got some great YouTube videos, another great resource out there. Alex Miner, Homestead How, I'm hitting my 60 days soon. Would love to speak with you. Yes, sir. Please reach out to me. My email is, you said at Homestead How there. It's homesteadhow@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. I would love to talk to you. Maybe we can have you talk about your story on my YouTube channel. That would be awesome. Would love to do it. Oh, and you commented below. You're registering for the Carnivore movie right now. Awesome. Yeah, shoot me an email too if you want. That's amazing. 60 days. I would love. Shoot me an email. Give me the details of your story, what's happened, and if you're interested, maybe we could do a video together on YouTube and share your story with the goal of inspiring others, helping the helpless and the hopeless. The lost voices. Kerry, do you use any electrolytes at all? Yes, I still do. I use Element just a little bit, not as much as before. I highly recommend it your first week. And I highly recommend it anyway. The other reason I use it now too is I'm exercising more. So I use the Element raw. I don't use the flavored stuff. And I put that in my water in the morning, and I do my workout. And yeah, that's what I do. Seems to help. A lot of people will report they're getting fatigued or energy issues. And I think sometimes that's possibly electrolyte related, or maybe not the nutrition. Try getting more nose to tail, liver. I got to get some more of that. I have liver pills too that we take. And Emma and I had Ancestral Blend, which was ground bison and liver and heart, and that was delicious. And I'm going to get some more of that. Don't tell Jen. I'm going to make her she's probably on here listening. I'm going to make her a burger. And she doesn't ask, so it's not lying. I'm not going to tell her, because if I tell her up front, she'd be like, "No, I don't want to do that." It was the best burger ever. That Ancestral Blend, it was from Force of Nature Meats. Emma and I made some burgers up with it. So flavorful and delicious. And it's giving you, there's so much nutrients in organ meats in liver and heart that we miss, and in this ancestral blend, they grind it in with the beef or the bison, and you don't even know you're eating it. It's delicious, but maybe try getting more of that too. That's important. If you get enough of that, you frankly don't even need electrolytes. I think Dr. Chafee's just like you don't really need electrolytes. Eat a little bit more liver or organs. Yeah. Yeah. My friend from Hawaii, we got Alex Miner who wants to share his carnivore journey. Absolutely. I'd love to. I've got time next week too. So yeah, shoot me an email, homesteadhow@gmail.com. We'll get her done. I'm a carnivore, man. I got time, and I always love hearing carnivore stories. I mentioned it earlier. My friend Alex Cannon from Liverpool, UK, just did an interview with him on my channel, and he had me tearing up at one point, and just in my jaws dropped, disbelief at this man's results and his stories. He said, "Kerry, I feel like you're my much younger brother," because he's 65 years old. He's just about to turn 65. I'm 42. I feel like you're my much younger brother from another mother across the pond. And it was so true. We had so many issues in common that he cured with carnivore, and his passion and excitement for carnivores, just like mine, infectious. I can't wait to launch that video. I was just editing the rest of it today. I think I'm going to put it out tomorrow. So check that out. You'll see the thumbnail and you'll be like, it says on it, 65 years old, and it points an arrow at this guy. It looks like he looks younger than me. Judy, is cottage cheese okay? Not for me. Everybody's different. On carnivore, I don't do any cheese. It has always stalled me. It's caused constipation for some people. On the other hand, some people do just fine. Some people do fine with raw uh, milk and things like that and dairy. So I would say maybe test out, but for me, it's like I don't need it. People say that to me about coffee too. Is coffee okay? I guess if you're fine and it doesn't give you any reaction. Some people are doing a carnivore diet as an elimination diet because they have autoimmune disorders or skin issues or allergies or things like that. So for that reason, you want to eliminate as much as possible. Cottage cheese isn't needed. It's not necessary, but it, test it out, see how you feel. I would personally not do it. Oh, love this question. Carnivore Crusader, do you plan to raise your own beef? I would love to. And my neighbors that we get our grass-fed beef from, they're the coolest people. We've been going to church with them for 8 years now. I used to do the video work at church. We actually had a live stream at church. We have a 4-camera system. It's really cool. If you guys have ever seen like a news station, sometimes they'll show behind the scenes where the guy is back there and he's camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. I used to do that at church with my buddy Aaron, who's my neighbor that we now get our beef from. I'm planning on doing a YouTube video with Aaron and his wife. I want to follow them and do a day in the life of some beef farmers. These guys are awesome. Grass-fed beef. They're constantly rotating them. Hardest workers I know. I drive past their house at every hour of the day, and I always see him out there working in the morning, in the night, all the time. So I want to do a day in the life of beef farmer. And then I was going to ask him, I'm like, Aaron, I would like to get my own beef. Is it possible? I've got 20 acres where I'm so blessed, but it's mostly wooded land and I don't have much grass area. I do have a pretty good bit in one section. So anyhow, I'm going to ask Aaron that and have him over. And wouldn't that be amazing? Oh, that would be great. The cool thing is I'm friends with Aaron. So if I tried it and for some reason it failed or the cow wasn't getting enough grass or something went wrong, I could literally take the cow for a walk right down the road back to my neighbor's house. So question, has anyone started a Facebook group to let your friends know about carnivore diet and the benefits and everyone can see results? I haven't. I know there's some good ones out there though. I think Dante from Freedom has one. I think Sean, Intentional Carnivore, has one. The carnivore community is the greatest. My metamorphosis, love the name. Took me a second. My meat amorphosis. I love that. I'm 57-year-old female. Got up the nerve to start my channel to share my story. I couldn't have done that before. Was too anxious. No more. Awesome. Do it. Do it. Don't care about what anybody thinks. You're only being an inspiration by putting your story up there. And people are only going to find it if they're searching for it. So That's awesome. Good for you. Isn't it great living without anxiety? It was crippling for me before. Absolutely crippling. And I go up now. Emma said the other day, she was like, "What did you just do?" We had a free kids movie. It was sponsored by a church, and the food pantry in town sponsored this free kids movie. It was coming up in a couple days. And I said, we had Indiana Jones. There was like 100 people right above my head. And I'm like, what better advertising for this free movie than this whole group of people watching Indiana Jones? Hey, come back Wednesday for this free movie. You guys can come to a free movie. So I walked right up to the front of the theater. Attention, everybody. I want to let everybody know here. We got a free movie on Wednesday, sponsored by Ruby's Pantry, church down the road. Come on out. Nothing. I would have been shaking. I would have been I wouldn't have came in that day. I'd have been like, I got to get out of this. I can't go. I would have felt obligated, like I should really get up there and tell these people. And then on the other hand, I never would have done it. So it's amazing. I'm so happy living without anxiety for sure. Oh, question. Do you take any iodine? I did pick up some iodine pills. I've taken maybe 2 of those in 115 days. I would say get tested and see if you need it. Um, the reason I took it, my friend Dante from Frigno Freedom, he had his blood work done and he was a little deficient in iodine. And I did some research on it. So I was like, well, it can't hurt. I'll try a little bit of it. Now that I'm doing line, I've been thinking maybe try it again some more. I am, by the way, I'm going to get all of my blood work done and share it all with you. Honestly, maybe I'll do it live. I'm giving it more time though. I've heard some good advice from people, like 6 months is a good start because I'm still losing weight. And when you're losing weight, a lot of stuff fluctuates. Your hormones fluctuate. A lot of stuff can fluctuate. I heard someone say you could go get your blood work done on day 7 of carnivore and then get it done on day 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And all of those readings will be completely different because your body's going through so many changes. Some doctor I was doing research on was suggesting give it some more time. Here we go. We got another super chat. Thank you so much. Homesick Buckeye. I'm currently 520 pounds, down from 548 pounds. Sent a message to the website. Want to support. Awesome. Thank you so much. 520. You started at 548, so you're down 28 pounds. Amazing. I hope, my friend, that you've watched Sean from Intentional Carnivore. What he did in 1 year is amazing and should be encouraging. And not everyone's going to have those results, but the fact that people are having results like that is amazing. I'm so happy for you that you've decided to be the captain of your own ship and take control. You said you sent a message to the website. I'll check. I'm hoping to get it. I'm trying to get caught up. I have so many emails, Facebook messages. I'm not complaining. I'm thankful for all of it. But if you ever try to reach out to me and you don't get me, try shooting me an email at homesteadhow@gmail.com. Now I'm going to get a bunch of spam and stuff, but whatever. Homesteadhow@gmail.com. I will get that right away. The website, I try to answer everything and get to it, but I am far behind right now. So many great comments coming through, Facebook messages, emails to my other email addresses. But oh, you got me another one here too. Lion diet works great for me. I've been lying about my diet for years. That is awesome. I haven't heard that one yet. That's good. Shane Jones said the movie Fathead and Fasting helped me. Awesome. Yeah, I mentioned Fathead before. A couple people said they'd seen it. That's really cool. Oh, okay, guys, sorry. I'm trying to catch up here. So many comments. I hate skipping over any of these. If I missed a great question, please just leave it below with a big Q. Hannah said, OMG, Ishnala is amazing. I got to try that. I've been past her so many times. Oh, no. Jen's here. So if you guys ever see I Create Crafts, that's my wife, Jen. 4 days on Carnivore Diet. This was at 8:12, so I'm far behind. Jen, if you're still here, I hope you're doing well. I'm at the movie theater. She was at home. She had two burger patties today, and she was making up a bunch of scrambled eggs when I left. I got to get her eating bacon. We got to get her eating some bacon. She doesn't want to try bacon yet. It's a game changer, especially if you start getting those cravings. Jen said Charlotte's is great, Hannah. That's true. Charlotte's is down the road. They're very good, although I haven't eaten carnivore there yet. That's my only thing. I remember going there a couple of years ago, and they actually had a decent steak, but it's not a steak place. They're mostly known for their pizza and their fish fry, and they had really good non-carnivore food. I think they have a steak still, but maybe check out their website. It's called Charlotte's Rendezvous. That was from my wife, Jen. Hannah, do you still have an Airbnb? We do. Yes, we do. We had a gentleman in the Airbnb for like 3 weeks, and he was awesome. He was so cool. He he was just gone at work all day. Sometimes you get guests, and um, some guests just stay in the Airbnb the whole time, which is fine. It's theirs. It's completely separate unit, separate utilities, separate entrance. So, but we had a guy in there for like 3 weeks. He left. Then we had another person in there. We have it blocked for this weekend because we have a bunch of family coming over for the triplets' 16th birthday party celebration. That's going to be fun. Oh, love this Carnivore Crusader. You have to find your why for any habit change. If you don't have a good enough why, nothing will be consistent or permanent. If you continue to fail, it's because your why isn't sustaining you. Yes, yes, yes. Carnivore Crusader, you're awesome. Thank you. Also, my friend Alex Cannon, who I keep mentioning, who I did a video with, he said that same thing. At the end of the interview, I said, Alex, what's your best advice if someone's starting carnivore? And he said this very same thing. Why? You have to have a why. It's so true. That is going to be your driving force throughout it. Here's one. Sorry, guys. I got to hurry. I'm so far behind here. I can't stop reading these comments. Carol said, napping after any carb, when I identified that, that is my why. No potato or bread or rice is worth napping for 3 hours and being tired all the time. Hey, yes, 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 yes. So true. So nice being on carnivore. All the napping that we used to do. What a waste. What a waste. Life is so short, and we're spending it napping because we're eating food that's bad for our body. Our body can't process it. It's practically shutting itself down. I was snoring at night so bad I nearly died multiple times, all from this horrible food I was eating. That was my why. Definitely, definitely not worth it. Someone said, I've heard that Diet Coke in moderation is okay on carnivores. Is true. I don't think so. Some people say it's fine. I think carnivore diet is you're eating meat only. Diet Coke is definitely not carnivore. I tend to be kind of harsh on that, so I apologize. Strict keto with Diet Coke. A lot of people do fine on that. For me, whenever I had diet soda, it would even though there's no sugar in it, my brain would feel that those artificial sweeteners, and it would feel like I'm eating sugar, and then I would start getting those cravings again. So didn't work for me. Cameron, I see your messages. Thank you. All right. If anyone has any more questions, I'm gonna try to catch up. Do you ever eat seafood? My first week on carnivore, I had steak and shrimp, and every now and then my daughter Lily would make salmon. It was delicious. I'm currently on lion diet for 27 days, so no more seafood for me. But a lot of people do it just fine. Salmon's really good. Break things up every now and then. I like shrimp. My first meal I had on carnivore, 115 days ago. I remember it vividly. I have a picture of it. Was a ribeye steak with some shrimp on the side. Very good. Definitely. Carnivore is perfectly fine. Element is so good. Yum. Helped my nausea and kept me going while becoming adapted. Yep. All right. I'm going to get every one of these questions. Someone said, is kefir okay on carnivore? I am really sorry. I don't know the answer to that. I've heard a little bit on it. I think if anyone else knows, please leave a comment down below. I'm not going to just try to give an educated guess here because I really don't know on that one. Questions. Oh, here we go. Question. Have you ever coached sports? You're a great motivator. I appreciate your reading everyone's comments. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I feel so bad when I miss some of these comments. They're always so nice. I have never coached. Have I? Wait, let me think. No, I don't think I ever have. I've attended a ton of sports things. The girls used to play basketball. Lily used to play basketball. They played soccer, but I never coached it. I love playing pool now, billiards pool. And my nephew, who comes and helps with the theater, he's here right now. He's here for the girl's birthday party. I'm going to be taking him, and I've coached him a little bit at that. And that's been kind of fun. I love the game of pool. It's amazing. I didn't get to do it much last year because my foot hurt so bad. In fact, that's when I noticed my arthritis in my foot starting to hurt, was when I was playing pool. Didn't golf at all last year because of that as well. Do you think fatty tumors will shrink on carnivore diet? I don't know, but if I had a fatty tumor myself, that would be one of the first things I try to do other than well, the first thing I would do would be a ton of research on fatty tumors and what type of tumor I had, but it seems like carnivore helps with so many things, and there's so much emerging with carnivore helping with other things that you wouldn't expect it, that if it were me personally, not a doctor, not giving advice, but I would think that carnivore would help me, and I would definitely do carnivore. All right, let's see here. Questions, questions, questions. Yes, Eric said the Dark Knight trilogy from Nolan has 3. I know. I want that one so bad. I can't get it. We can get a lot of old movies here. For some reason, that Batman one is locked up and they won't let us play it. They will let us get the Michael Keaton one, which would be kind of cool, but I need something with 3. Susie says we've slowly been transitioning between keto and carnivore. Sensitive to milk, wheat, uh, they cause anxiety, inflammation. People ask my husband what he's been doing. That's awesome. That's the way to do it. I know a lot of people. That's what I did. I started keto, went into carnivore. Now I'm doing lion, but that's a great way to do it. And I never knocked keto. I had some great results on keto, but me in particular, I still had a lot of issues that wouldn't go away, and I was stalling out and getting trapped up with those keto foods, but still having inflammation and still problems that I only seem to be able to get rid of on carnivore. Yeah, Eric's saying on the movie theater front, sorry, we're jumping between carnivore and movie theater. If you're doing a theme, check out your community to get people to come in. Yeah, that would be awesome. Like Star Wars would be great, but that's another one we can't get. We can't get old Disney movies. Star Wars is owned by Disney now, so we can't show any of those, unfortunately. Okay, I'm gonna get to the bottom of these questions. Where am I at now? I'm getting closer. So many great comments. 343 people on here. Thank you guys so much. This is great. What state am I in? I'm in Wisconsin, central Wisconsin. I think you're asking about me. About a half hour north of Madison, right in the center of the state. Cameron, you've said my name, Kerry, 46 times now. What can I do for you, friend? I get your thing. Yeah, it'd be fun to do a Facebook group. Let me know how I can help on that. If you have a question, please post it with the Q. Oh, I got this one. I'll throw it up there again. Susie West, it's true. I got up to 11 pull-ups. Awesome. Yeah, it just keeps getting easier and easier, doesn't it? Couldn't do one a year ago. Something about doing pull-ups. I don't know. It feels great. It's a really good workout. It's not just your arms. You feel it in your chest and your core and everything. Carnivores don't pee when they sneeze. Love it. That's awesome. Oh, here's a question. Really, the bugs don't bite carnivores. Tell me it's true. The bugs eat me alive. I make my own essential oil spray to keep them off. Anyone else say that? I don't know if I've noticed that or not. I guess I haven't had a lot of bug bites. But I always say carnivores don't get sunburn, and boy, did that cause an uproar before. Uh, people were like, it was 50-50. So many people were like, I don't get sunburn anymore. My thing was I roofed here for 14 hours with my Amish friend, didn't get any sunburn, and he was fried. I didn't get any sunburn. And last year, I always got sunburn every year. And then I did a bunch of projects with the girls, and the ones that weren't carnivore, they all burned. And I did 5 kayak trips so far this year with no shirt on, 0 sunburn. People are like, you're lying, you're making that up. No, I'm not. I think it has something to do with you're not having those seed oils anymore in your skin. A lot of times when you have those seed oils, people get skin issues. Like my daughter Lily, they get HS, they get rosacea, they get all sorts of skin issues. Well, maybe with the lack of oil gets rid of those skin issues. Maybe you're more likely to burn when you have the oil that's causing those skin issues, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know the science behind it. I know a bunch of carnivores said, though, I did burn. You're wrong. So, but also, to be fair, there's some people that call themselves carnivore and they're not necessarily fully carnivore, where they're still having some sugar or some junk or some cheat days, and maybe that's playing into it. I don't know. Well, what do you guys have to say on it? I've had, it seems like 50-50. So I started a podcast. It's called Carnivores Don't Sunburn. And I've got an episode with Sean from Intentional Carnivore. It was just my YouTube video, the audio version. And then this cool video I did with Dr. Chafee. And so those are the two podcasts I have up. The name of it, you can get it anywhere. It's called Carnivores Don't Sunburn. But everybody, I posted it on my community tab, and everyone they didn't even notice the podcast part. They were just raging about they do sunburn, they don't sunburn. And everyone was fighting about whether or not you sunburn or not on carnivore. So it's a pretty funny talking point. I don't. I definitely don't. I haven't. I definitely should have because I've been getting a ton of sun. Ivy says, I've always walked barefooted. Love it. Yeah. Hey, anyone out there? I know it sounds weird. Try it out. Try it out. It feels great walking with no shoes on outside. Wet grass. I'm walking in the sand. Someone was asking me, don't you get all dirty? I'm like, yeah, I wipe my feet off when I come back in, jump in the shower right away and take a shower, grab my element, my electrolyte, my glass of water, and that's how my day starts every single morning. Jimmy, 28 days, 31 pounds down. Thanks, Kerry. Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Puts a big smile on my face. Love to hear those stories. Question, do you read super chats? Yes, I think I read yours. Let me see. Yeah, I got yours. You said, maybe you missed it, but you said you went from 548 down to 520. Awesome. Sorry, I'm so far behind. Maybe you passed that. Lion diet works great for me. I've been lying about it, my diet for years. Thank you so much. Homesick Buckeye. Very funny. And I appreciate the super chats. Every penny is going towards the Carnivore Diet documentary. Links on the bottom of the screen if anyone wants to participate. Oh, look at this. I'm so far behind. 842. Life and DIY. Go check out her channel. Does she look familiar? That is my sister. That is my sister. She said, I may be ready to do carnivore finally. Just do it. You can do it. I've talked to her several times now. And every time I talk to my sister, her name's Holly. She's like, she's has been eating almost carnivore for years now before I ever started. She eats very little processed food, almost carnivore, but she has an avocado every now and then. And this, I'm like, you're so close. Just do it. She's had so many health issues. I think you will feel amazing. Put it on your YouTube channel. Go check out her YouTube channel. 344 people here. Life and DIY. She's got an awesome YouTube channel. She lives kind of far up north, but she's got so many cool animals on her property. And she does a lot of stuff about life and DIY and nutrition and health. And yeah, just do it. You can totally do it. You're so close. Everyone else that starts carnivore, Holly, they're like starting from standard American diet. It's like so hard for them to get started. You're 99% there. Just stop eating the avocado and whatever other stuff you're eating. Just do meat. Just tell yourself, I can do anything for 1 week. You do it for 1 week and then you do it for 1 month. And then you're going to do it for the rest of your life. And you're going to thank me. John G. Kerry Man, the hardest working man in carnivore. Oh, thank you. That's not true. That is not true, but I appreciate it. Dr. Anthony Chafee is the hardest working man in carnivore. My goodness. That guy works like 18-hour shifts as a neurosurgeon resident. On the weekends, he's doing nutrition, helping people with carnivore diet reverse Crohn's disease and colitis and all sorts of stomach issues. And then at night, into the odd hours of the night, he's doing I don't know where he has the time after doing neurosurgery all day. He's doing YouTube videos with me and with other people and on his own channel. Sunday, 9:30 Central Standard Time, Anthony Chafee, Kerry, part 2. If you guys have any questions for him, post them right now. Not questions. Sorry, not questions. We're not asking Dr. Chafee questions. We're challenging him on the carnivore diet. We're debating him. We're arguing with him. We're saying, Dr. Chafee, my friend said I shouldn't do the carnivore diet because it's going to kill me and clog my arteries. What do you say? And we did this video before. It was awesome. It's got like 60,000 views in just a couple of days. So many people found that video so helpful. So Dr. Chafee's like, Kerry, let's do round 2. I'm like, great, because I have more questions and more arguments against carnivore diet. Do you guys want a quick example? I'll give you one quick example. This is going to be one of the questions I ask. I keep saying questions. It's not questions. It is arguments against carnivore diet. So here's one of them. This is going to be on Sunday's video. Someone said this to me many, many times. They say, oh, carnivore diet, right. Look at your teeth. They're flat. That's suggesting we're meant to be omnivores, and it's suggesting we're supposed to eat both meat and vegetables. What do you say to that, Dr. Chafee? One other one real quick. I'm not going to give all these away, but one other one is, what about the blue zones? Those are areas where people tend to live the longest into their 100s. Most are not carnivore. For that reason, I'm not doing carnivore. Most of those people are vegan. I'm going to be a vegan. I've gotten that comment several times. So anything that you guys can think of like that, please send me an email, leave it on here, or check my community tab. I'm trying to hammer Dr. Chafee. And I was joking, but I'm like, I said to him, I said, Dr. Chafee, you got to go buy a new microphone. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, from all of the mic drops, I was throwing these curveballs at it. And this man, he didn't get any of these up front. None of these were up front. I wish I would have mentioned that in the other video, because the other video wasn't live. Sunday's video is live. He didn't see any of those questions up front. He hit every one of those out of the park. So convincing, just sharing the truth, rattling off facts and statistics and studies and all of these things just on the fly. I encourage you guys to go check out that video. Me and Dr. Anthony Chafee. You can see it on my channel a couple days ago. It's Sunday at 9:30 Central. He's doing it again, but he's doing it live. He's going to take not questions. This isn't Dr. Barry or Dr. Chafee, what should I eat kind of thing. It's arguments against carnivore diet, reasons that you didn't want to do carnivore diet, things your friends and family and grandmothers say you shouldn't do carnivore diet, you should eat in moderation, stuff like that. I want to throw everything I can at him. The purpose is to help people, because so many people they're ready to start carnivore, but they're terrified. And they're terrified. It's usually false reasons of being fearful. They don't have the facts. And so we're trying to get those facts out. And we're trying to get those hard things that terrify people from starting carnivore. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here. I was getting yelled at last week on this live stream. They're like, dude, just shut up and answer the questions. So if you have any questions, I'm going to shut up now and answer the rest of the questions. I got to wrap this up soon. The movie is going to be ending. Oh, I got a little while. This is a long movie. Anyone seen Mission Impossible yet? It was beautiful. We played it for the first time yesterday. I'm still looking for the questions as I'm chatting. I'm scrolling as I'm talking. Jen and I went out and watched it. I love the Mission Impossible movies. We went out there and it's surreal. We looked at each other, we're like, we own this single screen historic movie theater. It's unbelievable. 8 years ago when we moved out here, we came to this theater and we fell in love with the building and the owners and everything they were doing here. And now we're sitting there last night watching a movie. So everyone's saying I multitask, I work very hard. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am getting a lot of work done, but I did take some time. Once a week, Jen and I take off, and there's no work, there's no phone, there's no email. It's great. I told my friend Sean, if you're watching this from Intentional Carnivore, I was like, buddy, you got to just do one day off. He's also the hardest working man. Dr. Chafee and Sean from Intentional Carnivore, that guy is pumping out the YouTube content and the videos. Anyhow, Jen and I sat and watched. I'm still scrolling for the questions. I'm not joking. There's so many nice comments. Thank you for all of the comments. Sat and watched Mission Impossible together. Loved it. Action, excitement, adventure. It's a very long movie. It's my pet peeve lately. Why are they making all these movies 2-3 hours long? But this one was worth it. It was excellent. So good. Tom Cruise, whatever you think about him, the man is dedicated to his craft and he does his own stunts and he puts some good movies together. That last Mission Impossible movie, excellent. This current one, loved it. Kerry needs to stay busy, so coaching kids sports is natural for him to add to his empty schedule. Yeah. If I had the time, if my girls were still doing it, I would probably do it now. Question: have you interviewed or talked to Dr. Mindy Peltz for the movie? She's an author, podcaster, and YouTuber. No, but she's on my list now for sure. I want to get everyone I can that's an expert. One of the couple of things I'm missing on my board right here is I've got some doctors that I've in my head. I'm like, in a perfect world, we'd have this doctor talk about this category, like obesity. We'd have this doctor talk about type 2 diabetes. One big one I'm missing is mental health. That's a very important subject I want to cover in the Carnivore Diet documentary, because my mental health, Sean from Intentional Carnivore, big game changer. But what doctor do we have? In a perfect world, Dr. Jordan Peterson. Wouldn't that be amazing? That's a long shot for sure, though. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try everything I can. And Amanda from Carnivorous Me, she met Dr. Jordan Peterson in person. So we're going to try it. But I have a couple other holds. I've got reproductive. Love to have Dr. Kiltz on there. I haven't talked to him yet, but I'm going to be reaching out to him as well. I love these ideas too, guys. Anything, please. This is our Carnivore Diet documentary. It's not mine. I've already taken and changed things around and moved things around based on awesome, amazing feedback from the community. Question: is the theater haunted? I don't know. I don't think so. However, if you watch my YouTube channel every Thursday at 4, I post a new video. You will hear every time I come into the theater upstairs and I come into the door, I'm usually singing, "Let's all go to the movies." I don't know. I've been doing that since we started taking over the theater. I have no pride and I don't get embarrassed, so I do that on the YouTube videos. But then when I open the door, I always say, "Hello?" And the first time I came in the door with the girls and I opened the door, I said, I was weird because it was the first time coming in this building. And I'm like, I don't know if the previous owner was still in here. She was cleaning a bunch of stuff out. So I said, "Hello?" And I swear someone said hello back. And then the girls and I were like, was that, we all heard it. And we're like, was that outside? Like someone was being obnoxious driving by because the road's right there. I haven't had anything. If there is something here, I don't believe it. I don't think there is. The girls might tell you otherwise. If there is, it's nice, whatever it is, and it's happy with what we're doing here because I'm down in the basement alone right now. I've been down here with the lights off working, and I have no issue whatsoever. Building goes back to 1859. It was never like a hotel where people slept or anything like that, but in this very room behind me, there used to be a bowling alley, a 3-lane bowling alley. They used to paint horse carriages down here. There was a door back there behind that door, and they would bring a whole carriage in here and they would paint it. This was in the late 1800s. There was a banquet hall down here. They'd have a huge party upstairs, a dance, like an Easter ball, school graduation. They'd come down here and they'd have oysters and they'd have a restaurant down here. They'd have a whole banquet down here. So much history. I could talk about the movie theater forever. I love this place so much. And besides Carnivore, it's my big passion in life is sharing the history and preserving this place for years to come. There's nothing better than seeing this building do what it does best again. It was shut down for over 2 years during COVID. It's just quiet. It was so sad driving by. And now when I walk through there, I get a huge smile on my face when you hear the crowd clapping and laughing and crying and just coming together as a community. There's something, there's no ghosts upstairs in the theater, but if you come to the theater and you walk in the doors, there is something special that happens. I always tell people you're entering a room where thousands of stories have been told before a single movie ever played. There is so much has happened up there. Musicals, school graduations, magicians, hypnotists, thousands and thousands of movies, so many things and so many emotions have happened in there. It's like the fountain of youth or something. I don't know. When you go up there and then you leave, you're going to want to come back and go in there. It happened for me before we ever purchased the movie theater. There's just something about this place that's kind of like going to Disneyland when you're a kid. And it's like something magical about it. Adam S., you are 100% correct. I do not sunburn at all on Carnivore. I used to burn like crazy for my entire life. I'm telling the truth. It's me. I got annoyed because someone's like, guys, carnivores, you're making us all look bad. Stop saying carnivores don't get sunburned. It's foolishness. It's impossible. It's happening to Adam. It's happening to me. And I have had probably 30 other comments just on that one video of people saying they're carnivore and they don't sunburn and they did before. Like I said, I go out with a group of 4 or 5 people. 2 of them are carnivores, 3 aren't. The 2 that are carnivores don't sunburn at all. The 3 that are not carnivore all burn. Emma too. She said the same thing. Emma, you could see Emma. She's got very white skin. She used to burn like crazy. Not anymore. She gets a little red and then the next day it's completely gone, but it's not burning. It's not hurting and it doesn't stay on like it used to where it used to be painful. Lots of other comments. No sunburn either. Used to, don't now. I'm at 904. I'm almost at the bottom. Kerry, you should come to New Zealand. People go barefoot a lot of the time, even shopping. I had to learn to wear shoes when I went to London. Ivy Dixon, I would love to come to New Zealand. Maybe there's some carnivores I can interview there for the Carnivore Diet documentary. I used to work at a website company. We built websites and we did search engine optimization. It was a company in Madison. And our whole development team was based out of New Zealand. And those were some of the nicest, coolest people I have ever had the pleasure of working with. And my goodness, what a beautiful country. I would love to go there and walk barefoot. That would be awesome. I'm going to go there. At some point, I'm going to go there. Maybe for I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling for the Carnivore Diet documentary. One of the pieces of advice the documentary filmmaker that did stuff for the BBC said was, you have to go to them. You could do a call like this. That's not personal enough. You could have them come here. That's not good. You have to go to their location where they're comfortable. So sorry, I'm just checking my phone here. They're making sure the girls are okay upstairs, texting me. Emma sent me an image. Let's see if I put this on the live stream. Emma. Emma was close to being on here. Oh, this is funny. You guys probably can't even see this. Emma sent me an image. It was my video where I fell. And someone said, "Sorry for your loss. May your memories comfort you." Okay. In today's video on Thursday, I said we lost mom, and it was a joke because so Emma and I and Alyssa and Katie, we play this game I made up. Whenever we go to Walmart, Jen wanders off and shops for hours, and it drives me insane. And so the last time I was like, "Mom," and then Alyssa said, "Mom," and then Emma said, "Mom," and then we made this game where it's like we call it Mom. And every time we're at Walmart now, I said, "You guys want to play Mom?" And that's the game. So all of you can enjoy and play it. You say it, and the other person has to say it slightly louder until someone gives up. Well, Emma won because she screamed mom. In the video, I said we lost mom. It was a joke because we're screaming for mom, trying to find her. She did not pass away. Emma just sent me a message and someone said, "I'm so sorry for your loss." I guess they just read the title and they didn't watch the video, or maybe they were just joking. They were probably just joking, but that's kind of funny. Dr. Chafee is a busybody. Yes, he is. Susan, your sister Holly is beautiful. My oldest daughter's name is Holly. Oh, that's so nice, Susan. Awesome. Yeah. Dr. Barry says every cell in your body needs iodine. He suggests Lugol's iodine, a couple of drops. Oh, I have never heard that. That's awesome. I mean, I have heard that people get deficient in iodine, similar to magnesium is another big one. That is good to know. I will have to get some of that. I have some iodine pills, so I gotta stay on top of that. All right, guys, I'm going to get to the bottom of the questions here. 320 people. Amazing. Thank you guys so much. Kristen said, "I'm so inspired by you and how much you have transformed your health and your daughters as well. Your energy is infectious, and I can't wait to see the movie." Thank you, Kristen. That means a lot. That keeps me motivated to keep doing more videos like this. And I was not like this before. I find it so odd and weird when people say that. I love it and I appreciate it. But the thought of myself being energetic, infectious, and motivational is the polar opposite of what I was before carnivore. I was grumpy, tired, anxious, and I wouldn't talk to anybody. So it's a testament to carnivore. I attribute that all to carnivore. I really do. I really do. The energy, the mood, everything. So John G, did you consider Dr. Chris Palmer for the mental health part? I am now. Man, there's so many guys to keep up on. I think I've seen some of his stuff, but I will add him to the list. I'm writing names down on there now, so I will add him to the list. Chris Palmer for mental health. There's another one. Awesome. Thank you. That was a big hole. Dr. Jordan Peterson, Chris Palmer, both, maybe one, maybe two, but yeah. Saddle. Hey, you guys can ask any question. So how do you afford 20 acres of land? I don't have any, I have no filters, so I will share everything. How do you afford 20 acres of land? Did you and your wife make bank in a corporate city job in your early 20s and 30s? No, I have always done everything differently from my peers. So when a lot of my peers were purchasing a house, they were buying a house in a beautiful neighborhood with granite countertops. They were driving a brand new car that had a $600, $700 a month payment. They had a brand new iPhone. I always did the opposite everyone did. So my car, if you see my minivan right now, you might have seen it in some of the videos. It's got 250,000 miles on it. It's full of rust. I paid $1,500 cash for it. I banked all that money. I've been doing that for years, for 15 years now. I've never had a car payment. This phone here looks like a nice fancy phone, right? This was a used phone that we bought on eBay, and I have for years I've used a prepaid phone plan, $20 a month. All my peers, they're paying $100 a month. I saved $80 a month for years, banked all that money. I've always been cheap and frugal that way. I believe that money equals freedom. And so many people sacrifice, like, I got to have that iPhone. I got to have that brand new car. I got to have those nice granite countertops. And then they have no freedom left. I was always the opposite for years, and we were able to save a bunch of money. But when we bought our 20 acres, this was the other big point. Our 20 acres sat for 2 years. Nobody wanted to touch it. It was a mess. The grass was 3 feet high. The property was just disgusting. All the carpet needed to be torn out. The roof was in horrible shape. Nobody wanted to mess with it. So we got a great price on the property. We used a lot of cash to purchase it that we got from saving up our money, from money from our previous house. This was our third house. Our first house, we didn't make any money on. Our second house, we made a little bit of money on, and then we rolled it into the third house. And I've also been into business my entire life. So I've had a couple website businesses that I've built up over the years and sold. Nothing that's made me rich or a millionaire, but some of that money went into this house. So we were very fortunate and blessed. We actually paid cash for our property 8 years ago. And But again, everyone sees it now and they're like, oh, it must be nice. And then I say to them, well, it must be nice when you had the iPhone and the new BMW and the granite countertops. And I was just skimping by with my rusty car. And it must have been nice when you bought your new house with everything in it brand new and ready to go. And we literally spent 2 years just making our property livable. So it looks nice now, but it's not. But I'm very thankful for it. I'm blessed. I'm so happy. I'm beyond blessed. I don't deserve it. But that's how we did it. If I were to do it again now, I would do the same thing. I would look for a fixer upper and I would put in the elbow grease, so to speak. Tina Kathleen said Dr. Jordan Peterson must be included because he's so absolutely. He's so authentic. He's so authentic and he's helped so many people. That just that little clip with him on Joe Rogan, I think inspired so many people, myself included. I'm going to do everything I can to get it, but he's a very busy person and he doesn't seem to like to talk about carnivore. He mentions it a little bit briefly, but he's seems very cautious about talking about it. So we'll see. Yeah, COVID killed and decimated so many small businesses. Very true. This theater was almost one of them. Fortunately, we were able to get her back up and running. Question, guys. I've been on carnivore for 10 weeks, lost almost 50 pounds. For the last 3 weeks, I've been retaining fluid, some 8 to 10 pounds. Are you eating cheese, my friend? If you are eating cheese, stop. Don't eat cheese. Cheese always stalls. Try switching things up is another thing. I got to be careful because I've been doing Lion Diet for 27 days, just beef, salt, and water. But I've been telling people, if you stall and have an issue, consider doing Lion Diet for 3 days. It's not that big of a stretch. If you're doing mostly beef, butter, bacon, eggs, and mostly beef, it's not that big of a stretch to just stop bacon and eggs for 3 days and see how you feel. I can almost guarantee you will feel better. When I went from carnivore to lion, weight started falling off real quick. Tina, Kerry, how is your back after that missed jump and fall? I am good. Thank you. It rang my bell. My back hurt a little bit, but it was fine. Pre-carnivore, I'd probably be laid up in a hospital right now. I'm kind of joking. It was very foolish of me. I have done that maneuver dozens of times now. I do pull-ups here every day. It's just a freak thing. It was a little wet, and I don't know. I didn't warm up as much as I normally do either, but I'm using a chair from now on. I'll be much more careful. All right, guys, we are going to get to the bottom of this now. Question, have you heard of Georgia Eid? Harvard-trained psychiatrist used keto and carnivore in treating mental health patients. I've seen her on YouTube. I have heard of her. I think she was in the Fathead documentary. That name is very familiar. I'll have to check into her. I really appreciate all this feedback. I'm going to write all this down, guys, and put it on my board. So it was Dr. Eid, and then the other one above I'll have to look back at. Oh, I got to the bottom. Yes, I got to the bottom. Yeah, I've got to wrap this up now because the movie's almost over. I think I got all the questions. If I missed an important question, post it right now real quick. I'll try to cover one or two more here at the end. Thank you guys so much. If you want to help with the Carnivore Diet documentary, even if you can't donate, please just go to the website, carnivoredietmovie.com. Share that with everyone. Help get the word out. We have the camera now, which is awesome. We have a cinema grade camera. I will have it in my hands tomorrow. I have the lenses. I will be ready to start filming, but it's going to be so expensive and costly, obviously, to put together a movie that's going to be of the caliber for Netflix and for me to be able to travel around and do all of this. I've already put a ton of money into the camera of my own, into the lenses, into all of the audio stuff. I'm not complaining. I just want people to know I hate asking for donations and money. I really appreciate it. But in my head, I'm not asking for it for myself. I've already lost the weight. I am legitimately asking for people to donate money and help share the Carnivore Diet movie so that we can help others, so that we can get the word out, so that we can change this, so that the next generation knows that this is an option, and how sad it is that all of the kids that are alive right now, none of them know what it's like to ever be healthy. I want to change that. I want my grandkids someday, when they're delivered, the doctor's going to say, it's not a boy, it's not a girl, it's a carnivore. We're going to have carnivore grandkids. That is my ultimate dream, from a young age, not getting them addicted to an addictive drug like sugar and all this processed garbage. And so when I ask for the donations and stuff, I'm putting my own money, I'm putting my own time into it. I just want to make that point. I hate doing it, but I'm doing it on behalf of these other people. That's the only reason I'm doing it. I really appreciate all of the donations, the super chats, people buying the t-shirts. It's helped so much. We have the camera. It's a huge step. This is going to happen no matter what. The only question is, how long is it going to take? Because if we don't have the funds and the money, I'm going to scrape it together as best I can, but it could end up taking a couple of years. I gotta travel down to Sean, and I got to interview him. The other people that are coming and being a part of the documentary, I'm going to have to interview them as well. So, uh, really appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. If you can share the Carnivore Diet movie with others, please do. My goodness, if we could get like Dr. Barry or Dr. Baker, one of these guys, to talk about it a little bit, that might help with some of the fundraising. But we've got the camera, so I'm so happy about that. And really excited to share the Carnivore Diet movie with you guys. The hook, the 4 minutes, I've got it right on my desktop. And when I close this down, I'm going to watch it again. I got some more edits and some things to change, but I'm going to be starting to film very soon. It's amazing. It's mind blowing. Oh, Jack Bull, $10. Thank you so much. Right towards the Carnivore Diet, Doc. Appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to end it right here. Yeah, someone just said Element on Amazon. It's LMNT. LMNT. I use it. It's great. Get the raw one. Try to get the raw one. There's some flavored ones too, which are fine, I guess, for some people. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. Don't stay up too late. Have a great night yourself. And thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Good night.